crap. I forgot to mess with the camera. For some reason, there's something wrong with the camera in the Now Kiss presentation that it defaults to super dark. Na.
Well, we're back.
Hi. Sorry. Oh, just touching the input button. Are you sure it's not the goth setting? That would be for me and Ben, I think. Sort of famously Team Goth. Yeah, just for some reason... What the... Okay, now the gate is super... What? Okay, but now we're super washed out. Why?
Just living our best Instagram lives.
Yeah, alright, that looks normal. Yeah, that's really weird. There, I don't look like a ghost. You don't look like a ghost. We're not ghosts together.
Maybe
Hold
soon.
on. Let me just futz with the, Yeah, we look normal in the right corner view. I don't understand. Hi!
Hello.
Hi! Welcome to Now Kiss. Yes, I would like to save my changes. Please don't revert them. The stream where we play dating games. We're playing Purrfect Date. Which was, but speed dating with ghosts. Speed dating with ghosts is a very, very good game, and I recommend you guys go and buy it. Yeah, welcome to Now Kiss, the game where we play, the stream where we play dating games. Gosh, it's early, Joe.
It is early. I haven't had coffee yet, even though Serge made it for me.
Oh.
I brought it.
Oh.
I'm ready.
And we're gonna play Purrfect Date again, because there's some weird stuff happening here, and this game is not what I expected. Is it what you expected?
No, not at all. I don't know exactly what I was expecting, but I want to know more.
Yeah, it was not this. To catch us up quickly, Balthazar9999 subbed last night. Cheesemo subscribed for 4 months in a row, saying her offline subs. I showed you, Cheesemo. Pagan Pilgrim subscribed for 3 months in a row, and Andy1503 just subscribed. Thanks. So thank you very much, Andy1503. That's crazy. Thanks for joining this little community here. So, welcome, Andy Pie. Welcome to Now Kiss, the show with a surprisingly low number of kisses in the games being played. No kidding, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
maybe we could have had a smooch if we had decided to go.
I don't want to romance a cat.
No.
No, it's weird.
At least not that cat.
I feel that they're all going to have personality problems.
Probably. We'll just murder more people.
All right, well, Kenneth is our next research assistant, so do you want to push the right corner button and we'll dive right into it.
Yep.
All right, so we killed Jolene, much to our dismay. So let's come back here with Kenneth.
Maybe they each have different personalities.
I don't want to romance a cat. The last couple games beg to differ. All right, let us know how the audio is. I might turn up the game just a tinge. But it seems loud. All right. Hey, it's the security guy who doesn't give a shit, probably because he's seen a lot of people come and go.
Yeah.
This way. I follow him down a dirt track path and get my first proper view of the island. Oh, Mivar says my name is Kenneth and I feel attacked. I just thought it was a funny name. Nothing wrong with it. It's beautiful. After no more than a couple minutes of trekking, we're in base camp, which is modest but functional. It's a bit like glamping, really. Here. He stopped at the largest of the tents, indicating that I should go inside. As I enter, the professor looks up from his paperwork.
Come in. You must be Kenneth. Delighted to have you on board.
Thank you, sir. It's an honor to meet you.
You must be exhausted after your long journey. Let me offer you some refreshment. Water, coffee, something stronger, perhaps a little whiskey.
Okay, so we went with tea last time and he said no, but Kenneth's a different person.
Well, I still think it's a trap.
How about just some water then?
Sure.
Just some water would be great if you have some.
Now that's something we have an abundance of. There are plenty of safe natural springs on the island. But we have the bottled kind too.
I'm relieved as he passes me a bottle of water. I'm not too keen to start drinking from natural water sources until I have personally checked they're not also used as cat urinals.
I don't expect you to begin working until tomorrow, so I'll just give you your kit and some basic instructions and leave you to relax for the rest of the evening.
Thank you, sir. That sounds great.
Okay, so, first things first. This is your basic kit.
He hands over the piles of tools and equipment, explaining each of them in turn. It's all standard stuff until...
This is your catalog.
He holds at something that looks like a mobile phone. Catalog?
Yes, it was initially designed to record and store data on all the cats, but we've come a long way since then. There's even a chipping pen that comes with it to tag cats so that we can keep track of them. It is an extremely valuable piece of equipment, Kenneth, and cannot easily be replaced, so I need you to guard it with your life if it needs be.
I think he's joking at first, but he looks so intense I decided to take him seriously. Yes, sir, of course I will.
Good! You'll get to know all the functions as you go along, but for now, I suggest we take a stroll and see if we can't find a few cats that you can try it out on.
So I spend the next hour scanning cats under the watchful eye of the professor.
I think they streamlined that a little bit.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, if they made you to go through it all again, it would be, like, murderous.
I was expecting exactly that.
I mean, you're not wrong. But I'm glad the game designers made a slightly better choice here.
Yeah.
As I unpack and settle into my tent, I notice something a little odd. A little dugout under my bed. I reach in and pull out an unexpected find. The personal journal of the previous research assistant, the one before me. They must have forgotten it or left it behind. Cavaleth has subscribed for 38 months in a row. Thank you, Cavaleth. It's an absolute gold mine of information. It's going to get me up to speed with how it all works around here in no time. However, it seems something else was happening here on the island. Something that was troubling them. I get the feeling there's far more going on here than the professor would have me know. In spite of my increasing tiredness, I continue to read, and the journal gets weirder and weirder to the point where I'm not sure whether I'm still reading or if I've dozed off. You could just lose weather from that sentence. You could say to the point where I'm not sure I'm still reading, or if I've dozed off and I'm now dreaming of talking cats and kidnappings.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, I lose the battle and drift into a deep sleep.
Well, our second researcher has more knowledge.
I wake with a start, and it takes me a moment to get my brain into gear. I can hear a scratching sound and the rustling of paper coming from the tent flap. It's a cat with something in its mouth. Suddenly, I'm wide awake. No! It is the journal! Wait! But it has disappeared into the night. Before I know it, I'm out in the cold of night chasing it, running with all my might. I must get that book back. It has everything I need to know in it. Barefoot, dressed in only a t-shirt and shorts, running at full speed into the forest in the dark of night. This is familiar. I know, I read this in the journal. Something similar happened to the previous assistant. Yet here I am, falling into the same trap. I must be crazy. I slow to a stop, thinking I'm going to be sick. Of course, I realize, of course, I'm close to the danger zone. Everything goes black and I fall to the ground. I open my eyes. A calico cat, one that I scanned yesterday, is in front of me. She drops the journal from her mouth. I pass out. Oh, right. What did all these voices say? What are all these?
Hello, I say, can you hear me? Are you okay?
Here we go again.
Move back a bit. Let them breathe.
Has it been bitten? The Sphinx cat is standing over me, staring as I open my eyes.
Yes, definitely bitten. Look at its hand.
Oh, Snooty Booty sounded like Graves. I think I did that, mostly.
Yeah.
I bring my hand up to my face, and through blurry vision I can make out several deep scratches and puncture marks. The cats watch me intently. Is this real? I read something in the journal about kidnapping. Catnapping! Yeah.
We're sorry, it was the only way.
You stole the journal.
Oh, but I gave it back to you.
But Why would you take it? Deliver you're out here, sucker. There's no need for rudeness, Kibbles. My head has begun to clear, and I realized if I could talk to these cats, not only is it all true, but it's already too late. I have the sickness.
We need to have a talk, human.
No, we don't. I know what's going on here. I read all about it from your last victim.
No, Kara, that's not very nice. We prefer to think of you as our champion and friend.
McMurphy, you silver-tongued Irish charmer.
My reputation goes before me.
Oh, I know who you all are from the journal, so let's cut to the chase here. We just did that, dummy. You know what I mean. What happens now? It rather depends on you, human.
So, what do you say? Are you gonna help us or not? I think it's game over if we just don't help them.
It's allergy season here in Victoria.
Then we'd have to choose a new researcher.
Yeah, let's just help the kitties. I suppose my fate is already sealed. I may as well do my best to help you sort this mess out.
Spoken like a true champion.
Well, let's hope this one's better than the last one. I doubt that will be too taxing.
Unfortunately, they didn't get very far with discovering an antidote or what happened to our friends.
Oh, poor McMurphy. Excuse me. My catalog starts beeping. Oh, my alarm! I have to get to work.
Go! And thanks from all of us.
Deja, if you're going to be here, you, no promises, but you can email me. I make it back to the lab fairly quickly, considering how little sleep I've had. Wonder if that's one of the effects of the feline transition? I imagine my agility levels will change. I'm strangely excited about getting to work on the antidote. It's a sort of challenge I love. I'm just about to enter the lab to begin my legitimate work when the catalog beeps a message without any contact information. Some things are best kept to themselves?
Yeah.
Ominous. I don't have time to work this puzzle out right now, though. I'm already going to be late for work if I don't get a move on. The professor is already working when I arrive, but miraculously I'm not late, so there's no fuss. I get through the day as efficiently as possible and head back to my tent as soon as my work is done. I want to get to grips with finding out all I can as soon as possible. Kenneth is all work, no play. That's how we're playing him. He asks for water. He doesn't drink. He's very focused.
Yeah, we're not gonna make a mistake by hanging out with Pirate Cat and just getting day drunk.
Yeah.
Like we're not going to progress and get more research points that way.
Yeah, Jolene was a very relaxed person. She was like, yeah, sure, I'll blow off work. But Kenneth, type A.
Yeah.
Kenneth is who among us is a Kenneth in our group? Possibly me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Head down, get it done, then you can have fun. Alright. Recon.
Yeah. It saved us a lot of time.
Okay. 2 or 7. 2 is Trixie's been telling me about a strange phenomenon in a nearby rock pool. And 7 is Snoots has brought me something intriguing.
Wait, does that mean we get to hang out with Snoots? Or maybe it's just, no, it's not related.
We could. Who are our romance options here? It's
Oh,
Floofy Butt or Snooty Booty.
That's tough. If we go with Snooty Booty, I guess I'll read the main character stuff.
Yeah.
I'll just be reading like the whole time.
Why don't we go with Floofy Butt?
Okay.
Then we don't have to make these kind of decisions.
Very good.
I'm not sure what I have expected, but I've come to the forest with Floofy Butt for what I assumed would be a pleasant way to spend my afternoon off work. But I have now discovered that he's billing it as an informative afternoon of instruction and practical participation. This sounds suspiciously like a lecture to me. Oh well, as Professor Palper would say, a scientist must keep an open mind.
This is something I would normally do alone. You strike me as a like-minded soul, interested in both gastronomic and anatomic pleasures.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps now would be a good time to lay down the blanket I asked you to bring. We don't want to put that tender skin of yours under duress.
I lay the blanket on the ground awkwardly and wonder where he's going with this.
Relax, Kenneth. It doesn't usually take very long.
Suddenly, without warning, there's a loud plop as a bird plummets out of the sky onto the blanket.
Told you so.
Oh my, it's dead.
As a doornail.
What happened to it?
Just the force field, of course. Now, enough foolish questions, Kenneth. Let's get started, shall we?
Just like the lecturers from my uni. What exactly are you doing here, Floofy Butt?
I told you, don't use that ridiculous name. I prefer Major, if you please.
What exactly were you doing here, Major?
This is my little surprise. I'm a bird fancier.
Oh, and you fancy your bird's dead?
Quite! All the better to practice my other pursuit.
I know I'm gonna regret asking this, but what pursuit would that be, Major?
I'm a self-taught pathologist.
You mean as in post-mortem?
Somewhat rudimentary, don't you know? But I can now find my way around the innards of the average seagull with remarkable dexterity.
These two do get along. This is a good choice.
This was a good choice.
Yes, well, whatever floats your boat. I'm interested in crossword puzzles myself. Not everyone's cup of tea, but it occupies a wet afternoon.
Okay, back to the task at hand, Kenneth.
Yeah, how did this bird get in here?
I should now begin the autopsy. Keep your wits about you. There will be questions at the end.
Oh, E-Block is cheered with 100 bits saying, time again for Now Kiss, where we, check notes, are dating cats again. So far, we've only turned cats down.
Yeah.
Aha, I knew this was a lecture. Floofy Butt pings out a razor-sharp claw and begins going to town on the bird.
Incision from sternum to base. This is a terrifying photo.
Floofy Butt looks very cute, though.
The eyes. On first examination, the skeleton appears to be typical. I note there is no break in the neck, indicating that the force field, rather than the fall, killed the bird.
I feel rather queasy. Oh, really?
Yes, point of interest. Sometimes in the initial zap, the bird receives from flying into the force field merely stuns them, and it is the impact of the fall which provides the fatal blow. This chap, however, appears to have suffered cardiac arrest. You can see from the size, or lack thereof, of the heart, that even a major jolt could be enough to induce seizure.
Having removed the tiny organ, Major has now begun digging around inside the carcasses as though rummaging in a lucky dip.
Now, removing entrails for further examination.
Yeah, how does this... Yeah, I'm curious about how the bird got into the island. But whatever. Maybe there's a hole in the force field.
Maybe. Oh, do get a better look, Kenneth. It's rather revealing. I can see something in the stomach sac.
Stomach sack?
It looks like... Oh my, it's gold! Our lucky day, Kenneth. Here, have a look. It's some kind of nugget.
No thank you, Major. I'm not in the mood for playing with the contents of a seagull's stomach.
Don't be ridiculous. This is not a game, Kenneth. May I remind you that we are in the middle of a very serious post-mortem, and I expect you as my assistant to maintain professionalism.
My stomach is doing flips as I hold the object between the thumb... My stomach is doing flips as I hold the object between thumb and forefinger. What is this thing? It's so small. It looks kind of like a... Cripes, Major! It's a tooth! It's a gold tooth!
Ah, good find. You're a natural.
I can't help but wonder why a seagull would have a gold tooth in its stomach. Presumably, Major, this is from the mouth of a human.
I think you're probably right. So
how did it get in this seagull?
What an inquiring mind. You would make an excellent apprentice. If you like, I could pass on to you the skills I've acquired. That would be a feather in your cap, eh?
I resign myself to the fact that he's not going to be drawn into speculation. Okay, well, I'll bear that in mind, Major. I don't have the heart to tell him that I came top of my class in veterinary surgery.
And now to the Victor the Spoils. Don't be shy. I've already carved.
Oh gosh. Do you mean?
Of course. Tuck in. We won't stand on ceremony here. It's a good one too. Plenty of fat.
I have to think fast. Do I really want to eat raw seagull carved up by a cat on the forest floor? There's no way that's going to happen. I don't want to hurt his feelings, but equally, I can't afford to be laid up with salmonella poisoning through people-pleasing. Cat-pleasing, even. Yeah, I'm not eating a raw bird. Oh no, silly me. I didn't realize we'd be having lunch, and I ate before we came out here.
Well, just a taste, then.
Oh, Major, as tempting as it looks, I simply couldn't touch a single bite.
Nonsense, Kenneth, I insist. I would feel a very poor host indeed if my guest refused my hospitality. How is he hosting us? Are we not getting out of this?
Alright, thank you. Thank you, virus threat protection. Go away! No, what's going on? No, why?
Yes.
This is gonna be harder than I thought. Floofy Butt is standing in front of me, presenting what looks like a tiny liver on the palm of his paw. I need to think fast. Oh, that's my catalog! Type 1 has cheered with 200 bits, saying 200 kisses for Floofy Butt. And Andy1503 says 50 bits says props to opposable thumb-free autopsy. I can't hear anything. It's on vibrate. The professor is calling. What bad timing! Can you believe it? I'm going to have to head off.
But our feast.
Such a shame. So sorry. Please don't go ahead without me.
Oh, another time then.
Oh.
No!
I'm tempted to make excuses, but I notice the eager look on his little face and feel a pull on my heartstrings. Oh yes, without a doubt another time.
And I toast your health.
Major pops the liver into his mouth and starts cat chewing in a very unattractive way. I've seen cats do that.
Yes, I've watched your cats do that. I know.
I realize I'm staring and catch myself. Enjoy! Bon appetit! Bye! I make a swift and graceless retreat.
Well, I don't know how many points that got us.
I don't know. Alright, so there's also research. And this is feline hairstylist. You want to do some kitty hairstyling?
Okay, so last time we did research, we were like, this is great, let's scan some cats. And then we felt like we were maybe not the good person doing this. So I wonder what grooming cats will be like.
I put on my latex gloves and gather my tools. Brush, scissors, swabs, kitty wipes. I can't help but think I've forgotten something. Ah, of course, treats. I leave the tent and head for the lab, stopping to stroke a few of the island's residents on the way. Meow, meow, meow! I call out to the lazing subjects as I enter the lab. Looky, looky, what have I got? I shake the bag of treats, and a small lab erupts with hungry meows. If you want these, you'll have to behave, okay? I open the first crate, home of the grouchy old Mr. Bumble, and lift him gently onto the counter to be groomed. Morning, Grumpy. Let me check your ears. No debris. Lovely. I have a feeling you may be discharged the next day or two. He was brought in with a mild infection, slight temperature, weepy eyes, but he seems to have recovered remarkably well. In fact, I'm going to recommend to Professor Popper that we release him by the end of the week. I give Mr. Bumble a cheeky cuddle before I brush his matted fur. Wow, where's it all come from? There's enough fur here to make another cat. Mr. Bumble is beginning to get agitated and lets out his displeased grumble. I know, it's very annoying. Just gotta trim you up a bit and then you can get back to sleep. He resignedly lets me cut some of the hair around his bum and the back of his hind legs. Aren't you a good boy? Here we go, om nom nom. I put some of the little fish-shaped treats onto the counter and the ragamuffin practically inhales them. Now let's get you back into your cozy crate. I tuck him away and open the next one. Your turn, Socks. Just a cut and color, yeah? I snort at my own joke and then begin brushing the little white cat. He's a lot more lively than old Bumble and keeps trying to bite the brush. Hey, don't make me get the harness, Socks. That's no fun for either of us. Manfred909 just subscribed for 24 months in a row. That's 2 years. The cat seems to understand and settles down, only giving the brush an occasional nip when he thinks I won't notice. Oh, hello, what's this? I notice a little red patch on his neck, just under his chin. Oh, no, we don't have botflies, do we? Poor Soxy.
No.
I take the magnifying glass out of my inner pocket and examine the inflamed area closer. Ouch. Socks begins to struggle away from me. He must be in quite a lot of discomfort. It's okay, Socks, I'm just looking. I stroke the little cat to try and calm him down. I hate using sedatives on the subjects unless absolutely necessary. After a while, I'm able to get a better look at the wound. There doesn't seem to be anything living under here. I'm relieved I don't have to deal with any botflies. It looks strange. It's like a rash or a sore, but I'm not sure how or where he could have picked it up. Razor Swift has subscribed for 2 months in a row. Thank you, Razor Swift, for returning. I'm wary about how to proceed. Should I just clean it with some saline solution and let the air get to it, or should I put some of the Professor's Soothing Cream 116 on it and wrap it in gauze?
Is there a wrong choice? Maybe we should just go for the saline solution.
I feel like it's a rash, and like the thing is, the air's already been getting to it.
That's true.
I'm gonna cream it up.
All right, I trust your expert decision.
Cream 116 is designed for conditions like this, so I suppose that's what I should use.
Suppose that doesn't sound confident.
As I approach, Socks arches his back and puffs up his fur. I'm surprised by his reaction. He's normally quite a brave little soldier. Maybe it stings? I dab a little of the cream onto my arm to see what the effect is. After a few minutes, I realize what a twit I'm being. A cream designed for a cat is hardly going to affect my skin. I get on with the job in hand and apply the cream to a very peeved Socks. Whoa, later that evening I noticed a small patch of smooth, pale skin on my arm and realized the hair has rubbed off.
That's strong stuff. That doesn't sound right at all.
Uh-oh. You were right, Joe. We should have just saline solutioned it.
Those cats look happy. I think we're a monster, though.
Romance, recon.
Maybe some more recon?
Yeah. Okay, so we could do 2, which is a phenomenon in a rock pool, and Snoots.
Maybe we should look at what Snoots brought us.
Do you want to do Snooty Booty?
Your voice is so good for it, though.
Kenneth, are you still sleeping? You really ought to be awake by now.
Snooty Booty, are you okay? What are you doing in my tent?
All this lazing about is very bad for your complexion, to say nothing about the dragging effects on the delicate tissue around the eyes. Speaking of which, oh, my eyes. Oh.
Is there something I can help you with?
Possibly. I have something I want you to look at.
Right now? What time is it?
Time you are active. Come along.
Well, at least let me get ready.
Very well.
Snooty Booty sits down and starts grooming herself. After a moment, she looks up again.
Why aren't you ready yet?
Can you leave the tent so that I can get dressed?
For goodness sake. Snooty Booty roll. Oh, sorry. I'm just used to reading the narration. Go ahead, Joe.
Sure. Snooty Booty rolls her eyes and walks out. I get dressed resignedly and follow her.
What do you think it is? I'm intrigued.
We're on the beach, staring at a partially buried bottle sealed inside a plastic bag. It looks as though it has only recently washed up.
Hope Smith has subscribed for 17 months in a row. Thank you, Hope Smith.
Well, there's really only one way to find out.
Hi, Princess Jenny G. You're a new viewer. This is not what we normally stream on this channel. Sometimes we play good games, but right now we are playing the cat dating game that is also killing our characters.
Yes.
I'm not saying this is not good, but it's just really unique.
It's different.
Yeah.
I pulled the bottle out of the sand. It has some kind of document or note in the bag along with the bottle.
What is that thing? Read it to me.
It's a good thing I'm just as curious as Snooty, or I would be feeling a lot more irritable by now. I carefully unseal the bag and unfold the paper. I read the note out loud.
Interesting.
Initial tests on the most recent formula are encouraging. Subjects 6 through 18 appear visibly younger. Moderate to severe side effects noted, including increased hair growth and marked mood alteration.
Oh, they're all test subjects here. These are all test subjects. Interesting. They got turned into cats.
Subjects 1 through 5 had major complications. Some new small tumors, skin irritation, partial blindness, and memory loss. We need you to look into this. Check for contaminants and continue to iterate on the formula.
Appeared visibly younger.
Snooty Booty, is that the most important thing you gathered from this report?
You're quite right, Kenneth. We ought not to trust it. That note could have been written by anyone. We shall conduct our own experiment. Apply the cream to my skin.
Have you lost your mind, Snooty Booty? Did you not hear what I read out? Tumors, blindness, memory loss?
Statistics bore me. You should know that by now. Let's live a little. I'm willing to take the risk in the name of science. What cream?
The one we just used, I guess?
Maybe. No. Oh, yeah.
No, we're not taking any risks, Snooty Booty. You wait here while I go get my kit bag from the lab. Let's see if we can't work out what this stuff is made of. I guess it's in the bottle.
Oh, yeah? It's a bottle of cream with a note?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I was hoping the lab would be free, but sorry, I'm really used to reading
the... I mean, the professor's here, so I'll read the professor.
I was hoping the lab would be free, but the professor isn't here making some notes.
Ah, hello, Kenneth. I thought you were taking a day off from the lab today.
Oh, yes I am, Professor. I just wanted to check something.
I can't take the test equipment away without the professor getting suspicious. I'll have to come up with some kind of excuse.
I wanted to get ahead on some of the field work. There are some samples I found that I think could be useful.
I pick up the field kit bag. Popper looks up from his work. Oh, what sort of samples?
I have to make this believable, but also invite no other questions. The samples are fecal.
Fecal?
Yes, a large poo, sir. It has rather interesting properties.
Jolly good. Off you go, then. Good thing he's not more interested about poos.
Nailed it. I take the bag and leave.
As I approach the beach, it becomes clear Snooty Booty has managed to break into the ointment. She appears to have spilled some and is now busy rolling around in it. This is terrible.
Snooty Booty, what were you thinking? This could be very dangerous. The only danger here is ghastly sand sticking to my delicate skin. Do help me get rid of it, Kenneth.
I try to wipe the sand off, but it's stuck like glue. Underneath the layer of sand, I can see her skin is very pink. There's no time to lose. I pick her up and run into the ocean, trying to use the seawater to clean off as much of the ointment as I can.
Put me down! Put me down! What on earth? I've never been so humiliated in my life.
She twists out of my grip and scampers off in a huff. I think I've got it all off, so I leave her to it. Now, back to the samples. There's not much I can do here on the beach, so I'll just have to wait until Professor Popper is finished in the lab. Well, that was quick. As luck would have it, the professor needed to retire to his tent earlier than usual. He has to read some research papers that arrived from the mainland this morning. So now I can continue looking into this ointment. I begin by testing the substances for several common compounds found in cosmetics, but it's negative for all of them. I widen the test for other organic compounds. I get a match. About 30% of the ointment is poo. Cat saliva! If they are using saliva from the cats on the island, they could be infecting all their test subjects with catification. But where have these other side effects come from? I run the ointment again, this time looking for known pharmaceuticals. Before I can get the results back, Snooty Booty comes trotting in.
I just thought you should know that the security guard is coming this way. You should make yourself scarce before he arrives. Not that I care what happens to you after you threw me into the ocean.
I have no time to finish this experiment now, but I will work on it later in the privacy of my tent. I take my things and run before Zane arrives.
to open up. Oh.
No.
What's the point of giving us four hearts?
Well, we haven't tested what happens when they run out.
That's true.
They said there'll be some consequences.
Oh. It's a dream. I'm in class at my university. The tutor is late and we're all sitting around waiting. I turn to my friend who sits behind me to make a joke about the tutor's car breaking down, but my friend isn't there. Instead, there's a giant cat.
Oh, God.
It looks like an elder. It bares its teeth at me and lets out a menacing low growl. Just as I'm about to scream, the tutor arrives, but it's Professor Popper.
You look like you've seen a ghost, Kenneth.
I'm trying to answer back, telling him to look behind me, but the words won't come out. I'm rigid with fear. Can't move, can't speak, can't scream, and everyone else is acting like things are normal. Can't they see it? I force myself to turn around again and look at the terrifying cat, but it's not there. There's just an ordinary domestic cat, and everyone is laughing at me. And now I see everyone from the island, the Marigolds, Joe, Bob, Zane, Popper, all pointing and laughing. I jump out of my seat to leave, and I'm in my bed, in my tent, sat bolt upright. I shouldn't have eaten cheese so close to bedtime.
I don't think it was the cheese.
No! Electric Claire has subscribed for 13 months in a row. Alright, well, we have 5 romance slots, so we may as well, do all that we can there.
Yeah. Heartbreak, yeah.
Alright, Floofy Butt. You're great.
Hopefully we don't have to eat more seagull. Do hold your hand still, Kenneth. I can hardly see a thing with you shaking like that.
I hold the binocular stable in front of Floofy Butt's tiny cat face. He looks ridiculous.
It's like you're not even trying, Kenneth. You're shaking like a leaf.
My hands are totally steady, Major. Ever consider it could just be your eyesight?
I'll have you know I have the keen eyes of a goat.
Goats aren't exactly known for their vision, Major.
That's just because the world is full of ignorami. Am I?
Well, what can you see?
Well, I can only see a couple of mulers lazing about, of course, scratching out their fleas. Filthy things, I tell you. Aha!
What?
One of the bigger cats is emptying its bladder. That could mean they do eat and drink on a regular schedule.
And
if we were able to find out where their water supply is, we could lace it with a mild sedative and bring the incapacitated sample to the beach and...
Please don't finish that sentence. No cats will be harmed during this mission.
Oh, please. The subject will not be harmed. Just slightly bewildered for a day or two.
But why, Major?
Well, to examine it for a start. Also, I should like to see how they react when one of theirs goes missing for a change.
Major, I only agreed to help you with this on the promise that you will not attempt to extract any kind of retribution on the elders. Examination is one thing, but if you can't keep your end of the deal, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to withdraw.
Okay, I'll just observe.
I replaced the binoculars in front of Floofy Butt's keen goat eyes.
Well, what do we have here?
Found something?
I do believe I have. There's a few elders who seem to be meditating.
Meditating? Are you sure they're not just sleeping?
Take a look, will you? Tell me they aren't meditating. Oh.
Huh. I adjust the binoculars to suit my eyes, and I'm quite taken aback by what I see. Floofy Butt is right. The cats aren't sleeping. They are sitting in a circle around what is by far one of the stranger landmarks on the island, a large statue of Bastet. Professor Popper has always dodged my questions on what on earth the statue of the Egyptian cat goddess of war is doing on this island. I'm even more intrigued now. The cat seems to be listening, contemplating, or even meditating. Well, Major, I'm sure there's a perfectly good explanation for their behavior. Cats often behave quite strangely, I've found.
Well, there's strange and then there's strange. And my experience teaches me that that type of strangeness, that is a class that are afflicted with what is beyond acceptable. I believe the only way to protect us all is total disassociation.
What?
What?
Major, do you hear yourself? We're practically trespassing on their territory so you can spy on them while they're doing whatever it is they're doing, and you want disassociation from them?
One must know one's enemy, Kenneth.
How are they your enemy, Major? They've never done anything to you.
Oh no. Those Muellers are wholly responsible for the problems of this cursed island. It's about time they were held accountable. They're the carriers of the cat virus. If it weren't for them, you wouldn't be afflicted with the illness.
Oh, is that so? Because I distinctly remember that it was you lot who deliberately put me in danger in the first place. The elders are cats. Just cats!
Just cats, eh? Oh, I see.
I realize what I've said, and though I didn't intend it the way the Major has taken it, I can see how wounded he is. I feel conflicted. On one hand, I want to take a stand against his bigotry. It's not helping our progress, and it may end up ruining our friendship. On the other hand, I know he has a good heart. As Trixie says, he's just stuck in his ways, and it would be wrong of me to start pushing my views onto him. Perhaps I can lead by example and practice a little more tolerance myself. I don't think this is a stand-up kind of person. I think this is like a... Oh, come on, Major, I didn't mean it that way. You know I have the highest regard for all cats, and particularly you.
And I for you, Kenneth. However, I must say, I find it increasingly difficult to fathom how such an intelligent person as yourself fails to recognize such obvious truths.
Okay, perhaps I haven't given you a fair hearing. Maybe my own opinion's got in the way. So go on then, you have my full attention. Teach me, Major.
Well, that's more like it.
Sorry, Moosefield Cat. She wanted us to stand up.
Yeah, I was leaning towards that option.
Oh, really?
But what if the dialogue just kind of ended? I don't know.
Actually, I'm sorry. We need to take a quick break. I've drank a bunch of coffee this morning, and I need to go to the bathroom.
Very good.
I cannot do the rest of this scene. I have to pee a lot. I'm sorry, guys. I'll see you guys in, 5 minutes. Commercial break. Bye. The microphone mute light is still on. Yo, okay, good.
Ooh.
I think the mute light is just stuck on. Oh no, then it went off. Okay. Hi.
We're back.
Okay.
I feel like if we had chosen the stand-up option, maybe we would have demanded a different personality from him.
No, that's true.
It's possible.
Well. He pulls himself off and flips out his fur, gives him an air of self-importance, so much that, in spite of my promise to be open-minded, I'm already feeling a bit irritated.
You see, what you and the other pedestrian-minded inhabitants of this island will not do is look at the undeniable evidence that this species is the cause of all our problems.
The evidence being...
Well, firstly, they've segregated themselves from us and created a ghetto, where we have been made welcome. That is an act of hostility.
I want to point out that they haven't created anything, that they've always been there, but I'm practicing... Oh, they can't hear us.
I know.
No, we cannot hear you. What?
Mute light, please.
No, we can. Okay, Greneville was just messing with us.
Maybe a delayed response.
Maybe. Okay.
Phew!
Good. Phew! Alright, that's just Greneville then.
And the mute light.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's okay. You guys... Now I'm paranoid that they can't hear us at all.
No, look at all that feedback.
Sure can. I hear you. Alright.
Phew.
Well, alright, we're practicing tact and diplomacy and terror over microphone issues.
Secondly, they carry the virus.
Feline transitional gene. Thank you, Osha. Thank you, Lindsay. Chat masters of gaslighting. Sorry, ignore that on my end. Oh, good grief.
Quite. They're trying to infect everyone, make us all like them, and they will have their way too if we don't fight back.
I bite my tongue and resist telling him that it's far more likely that they are not trying to infect anyone. They simply want to live and let live. They probably don't even understand the effect their bodily fluids have on other species.
Thirdly, it should be obvious to everyone that they have made no attempts whatsoever to learn our language. If they are congenial towards us, they would surely have tried to communicate with us by now.
I try to keep my voice amicable. I know how frustrating it is when you can't make yourself understood, Major.
Very frustrating. I'm glad you see that, Kenneth. At least I have one ally in all this.
Maybe now is the time to strike. You know what, Major? I bet that with your superior intellect and my research skills, we might be able to find a way to learn their language. I hold my breath.
Why on earth would we want to do that?
To communicate.
Have you lost your mind, Kenneth? To say nothing of your sense of smell.
Huh?
I doubt they have anything worthwhile to communicate. They are no more to us than an insect under a microscope. No.
Oh.
The smell, however, is that is rather overpowering.
Asterix Mike has subscribed for 37 months in a row saying, "Hey Kathleen, thanks for this child trauma and more of Moira. Mora, have some sweet lucre. Thank you." Wow. Major.
Shall we call it a day here and go somewhere where the air is more pleasant for our lunch?
I'm feeling very uncomfortable now and I want to get away to think. Actually, Major, I have to get back. I'm on feeding duty today. If you'd like, I can put something by for you.
Very well. I shall call by the mess tent later.
Make my way back to camp, and I can't help feeling I ought to have handled this differently.
No!
There you go.
There was a wrong choice.
Yep. Stand up to cat racists.
Yeah.
I wonder if honesty may have made more progress with Floof. Diplomacy just feels like pandering to him, really.
Okay.
Wow.
That's nice. I'm glad we didn't gain more, romantic points with him for, humoring his racism.
Well, we'll call him out next time for sure.
Yep.
Alright. Romance, research, or recon?
Maybe a floof break. Maybe something else.
Research. Okay, we've opened up 6. It's time for some serious testing in the lab. I'm intrigued to see what kind of work the professor has up his sleeve. My stomach is queasy. I really don't want to do this. It's strange. I'm used to treating subjects with medication and injections, but something about this doesn't feel right.
Oh.
Hello, you. I smile at the gentle cat on the table in front of me. I look at the syringe in my hand. I turn to the professor. What are we testing for with these meds again? He looks up from his desk.
Is there a problem, Kenneth? I've already told you. It's supposed to stimulate hair growth.
Why do we need to stimulate hair growth?
Why, indeed. However, ours is not to question why, Kenneth. The likes of you and I perform the tasks set out by the people who pay our wages. Such is life, eh?
The professor returns to his work and I understand the conversation is over. I look back at the little cat. His name is Smokey. He's a Lycoy cat with very short, fine hair. A real sweetie. I suppose the professor is right. This is just my job, and although I feel terrible, I find a way to ignore the pangs of guilt and inject Smokey with the medication. Aren't you supposed to, question things in science, too? He squeals, but it's over quickly, and he can return to his cage. How long does this usually take? The professor looks up again, slightly irritated.
I don't know, Kenneth, but you're paid to find that out, aren't you, my dear?
Oh, yes, of course. I make a note of the time and observe the cat. After 5 minutes, there's no noticeable change. 10 minutes, still no change. After half an hour, I think I notice his hair looks a little different, but I suspect my eyes are playing tricks on me. 1 hour in, and all of a sudden, I can see the hair is visibly longer, and it seems to be continuing to grow. I must say, I'm very impressed and a little confused. I decide to take a tea break. Smokey seems content to nap for a while. Can I get you a cup of tea, Professor?
Oh no, I don't know how you can tolerate the foul stuff they brew up in the mess tent. I have my thermos of coffee here, thank you.
Fair enough. I'll be back in a bit. I've only been gone for 10 minutes at most, but as I enter with my mug of tea, I instantly notice the drama taking place in Smokey's cage. I find it hard to stifle a laugh. Oh my goodness, Professor, have you seen this? The professor looks up, exasperated by another interruption, but then he notices the cage.
Oh dear, well don't just stand there, Kenneth. Get him out.
I open up the front of the cage and pull out the large hairball that Smokey has turned into. His fur tumbles over my arms as I cradle the bewildered cat.
Well, I never. Very interesting, isn't it, Kenneth?
I think it's still growing, Professor.
I do believe you're right. Perhaps we should consider the clippers.
The professor hands me a small set of silver electric clippers, and I immediately begin using them on the ever-expanding Smokey. I continue to shave for the next 15 minutes until he finally seems to run out of fur.
My, that's a lot of hair.
We both stand staring at the pile of fur at our feet.
Just keep a small amount for testing and put the rest of it back out the back. Mura can dispose of it later.
Mora?
Mrs. Marigold. Excellent work today, Kenneth. Most interesting findings.
Thank you, sir. Although the results had nothing to do with me, I'm left feeling a tad guilty about Smokey's ordeal. As I place him back in his cage, I check for any signs of trauma, and when satisfied he's okay, I awkwardly take my leave. Yay! We unlocked Research 9.
Ooh.
Want to do more research, more recon?
Let's see what the new research is.
Yeah.
But that'll finish the game, won't it?
Ah.
No. I guess more recon then.
Sigh. Alright, looks like Recon 2.
Ah,
Let's go see Trixie.
very good.
I've taken some time off today so Trixie can show me the water pool she's been telling me about. I have some sample bottles in my backpack along with food and a blanket. It's nice we can have a picnic lunch there. So these pools appear to be different colors?
They don't appear to be, Humi. They are.
Well, we can't prove that until we've tested them. Reflection, refraction, and dispersion can play some fancy tricks on the eye.
Pooh to your testing. You take all the magic away, science person. It makes your world very dull, I think.
Maybe you're right, Trixie. Let's wait and see what wonders you are going to show me, eh?
That's right. This way.
She's disappeared from sight. I run to the cliffside where she was walking, and looking over the edge, I can see that she's dumped to a small rock shelf about 4 meters down from where I stood.
We're jumping in the ocean again.
Mm.
Come on, you can do it. Don't be a fraidy cat.
I'm far more concerned about how I will get back up again, actually.
I like that we're less worried this time, and that she didn't just jump ahead without, telling us.
Yeah. There are sorry.
There are kind of steps further along, but this way is closer to the entrance.
Not wanting to appear too much of a killjoy, I clamber over the edge and lower myself down, dropping the last few feet.
Impressive! You're getting feline spring in your step.
If you say so. I'm worried I may have twisted an ankle, but I don't want to say anything.
Follow me, Springy.
She's disappeared again. It's like keeping up with a jackrabbit.
Follow my voice.
And suddenly an alarming sound is coming from between two rock faces. It's high-pitched screeching and very loud. I squeeze through the crevice and I am in what looks like a cave without a ceiling. Trix, stop! The sound is so amplified in this enclosure it has become deafening.
Sorry, Humi, but it feels so good. Have a try.
What?
Yell, shout, scream, sing at the top of your voice, loud as you can.
Was Zelda has cheered with 56 bits. And Hunga Junk has subscribed for 9 months in a row. I don't know how to feel about my sub baby being on Now Kiss. Oh, really? I feel self-conscious, but I'm dying to have a go.
You only live once, and it's so fabulous.
She makes the noise again, and this time I join in. It's fantastic. The acoustics are something else. It's like an amphitheater. Eventually we run out of steam, and I flop to the ground, exhausted but exhilarated too. After we have caught our breath, I'm ready to push onwards. We'd better get on if we don't want to be back too late.
We're here!
Whoa. I'm surprised. I was expecting something more impressive, really. I mean, this artwork's pretty vibrant.
Yeah!
This is the place? I look around, and for the first time I notice several small pools of water, not much larger than puddles around the edges of the enclosure. Oh, I see. I bend down I bend down next to the nearest pool and see straight away that it is the deepest red. It looks like blood!
Look at mine! Like liquid sky.
I cross to the opposite side where Trixie is sitting, and sure enough, there is the clearest, richest blue water.
And melted emeralds.
Again, I follow her to another pool as green as spring foliage. And then another of the deepest purple. One of orange, yellow, pink. Well, it certainly is as amazing as you said, Trix. How strange that they are all so different. What's causing it? It has to be a trick of the light.
Put your hand in.
Well, I'm not sure that's a good idea. There could be any number of bacteria making this happen. Best not to touch until we're sure it's safe.
I've done it lots. It's fine.
I glance over and sure enough, she has her furry little paws in the golden-colored water. Somewhat reassured, I scoop up some of the blue water and sniff it. It smells wonderful, as though it has been perfumed. What is that smell? It's weirdly familiar. Huh. I take out the bottles and begin collecting the waters. My theory about the light is blown when I line up the bottles together. They each retain their original hue. Something is dyeing this water. Oh, I can't wait to get back to the lab and run some tests.
We can go back the easy way if you like. Follow me.
We head back along the rock shelf and go past the spot where we jumped down to on the way here. Further along, there is an ascent, just as Trixie said, but I would hardly call it steps. Someone has clearly tried to make a trail here, but it's all a bit rough and ready. Further along still, I can make out a large empty metal drum. It's rusted, obviously discarded some time ago. I get a closer look and see that there's a tap near the base and the remains of a label, but I can barely make out the words. I take a picture of it with my catalog to decipher later. The perfume I smelled in the cave seems to be stronger here. I'm very intrigued. Trixie couldn't be less interested in all of this. She's happily skipping ahead looking for a good picnic spot for us. I'll have to be patient with my investigations. Oh, that was really interesting.
That was interesting. I like that a lot more than our pirate excursions.
I've decided to catch up on some rest and relaxation, just like the professor keeps telling me to, so I've come down to the jetty where Zane usually sits. Wow, the rest isn't just hit rest, refill your hearts. Things are happening now.
Yeah, little mini activities.
Today isn't a delivery day, and as I was hoping, he's nowhere in sight. I sit with my legs dangling over the edge and take out my sketchbook and pencils. I haven't done this in ages. It's so peaceful. I can get lost in my own little world when I'm drawing. I try doing a couple of landscapes, the mountain range in the distance, the trees of the forest, but nothing is really grabbing me. Then as I'm daydreaming, staring into the water, I notice the patterns the ripples form on the surface. They're unusual. I suppose because of the magnetic pull. The effect is beautiful. I end up sitting for just over an hour trying to capture it all on my page.
It's peaceful.
Alright, romance, research, or research we can't.
Yeah.
I guess romance?
Yeah, let's try and be a little firmer and see if we can get some better dialogues.
We've been walking for ages, Major. I don't have much longer before they'll expect me back.
Almost there. It needs to be as close to the danger zone as possible to deter snoopers. Few cats and even fewer humans come out this far, which ensures that my deposits are safe.
Deposits?
This is an act of trust, you understand. I believe that our recent disagreement and resulting reconciliation has made our bond of camaraderie stronger than ever. And I would like to solidify our reunion with the sharing of something quite private and important to me.
I feel slightly awkward and mumble incoherently in response. Yeah, well, what's past is past, water under the bridge and all that. I am delighted, though, that you have reviewed and modified some of your stronger opinions, Major. Updated your map, so to speak.
Indeed. Though, for the record, I'm still uneasy about the mute elders, but I grant that finding a way to speak with them might provide more insight than I'd assumed.
Well, we really are on the same page now, Major. We come to a halt. I can smell the pungent scent of the elder cats. I've not been this close to them since that first night, and it makes me uncomfortable, but I feel surprisingly reassured to be with Floofy Butt.
Oh, we've already been infected.
Yeah.
This is it. We must be completely silent now. so you'll have to cease that unattractive sound you're making.
I'm out of breath, Major. I can't help it.
What I'm about to show you has taken a long time, and a lot of effort on my part. If anyone else should get wind of its whereabouts, or even its existence.
Yes, okay, Major, I get it. I swear the most prestigious of pinky promises that I will not utter a word to anyone about whatever I see today. Floofy Butt seems satisfied and makes an effort to straighten himself out before motioning towards a large tree.
This, my dear, is my treasure. Tree treasure.
Goodness, what a handsome tree you have there, Major. Very tall and proud looking. Congratulations.
Oh, for goodness sake, come over here.
Floofy Butt leads me around the enormous tree to its hidden side, which has a large hollow in it that looks like it leads to a tunnel. Good God, man, are you digging an escape route out of here?
What on earth are you twittering about? Use your eyes more and your mouth less, my dear.
I'm actually way more invested in this cat relationship than the last one.
Yeah.
At least Floofy Butt is interesting. I noticed then that hidden in the dark recesses of the tree is the outline of a large object which my eyes won't allow me to see clearly. What is it, Major?
Don't be shy, Kenneth. Get in there and have a proper look.
I have no choice but to crawl into the cavity for closer inspection. I run my fingers over the item and deduce that it is made out of old, splintering wood and has cold metal adornments on either side. I use them to drag it out of the tree, and in the half-light I am somewhat unsurprised to see that it is an old-fashioned treasure chest. I would expect nothing less from the Major. Floofy Butt is looking at me expectantly.
Well, open it, my dear. You needn't worry about the lock. It's quite broken.
I do as instructed. Oh, my giddy aunt! Major, how on earth? The chest is full to the brim with all sorts of shiny things. Jewelry, gems, coins, trinkets, ornaments, baubles, and all matter of curios. I, too, can use a thesaurus. Floofy Butt lets out a low laugh.
Allow me to regale you, human, with my vast adventures and conquests.
I settle down and allow the Major's voice to wash over me as I play with some of the items of frippery from the chest.
That coin you're holding, there's a very interesting story attached to that. Do you know how old it is, Kenneth? I do believe the date on it should be illegible. I remember the night I found it. I'd gone for a walk along the beach. It was blustery and dark.
I feel for the first time how exhausted I am. The walk has sapped me of all my energy.
And as I fought with the elements...
I look ahead and notice the sky is much darker. I'm laying down, although I don't remember doing so.
Valiant and victorious to the thunderous applause.
I hear a low grumbling sound. Thunder? And flashing behind my now closed eyes. Surely it's a storm, but there's no rain. That's odd. No wet. Just warm and dry and hard to breathe.
And I bellowed defiantly, "You cannot have them!" But the Muellers were already encircling.
I should really get up now. Oh, it seems my eyes won't open. That's a pity.
I'm dying. As I bit into the still beating heart.
I do believe I'm paralyzed. That is a shame. I try to move my fingers. Nope, they're not listening to me.
What? Oh my god. Wake up! We have to get you out of here this instant! Up you get! That's it, come on!
Flurfy bird.
This is terrifying.
As I come to, the world looks dark and distorted. I must be walking because trees are passing my line of vision. My hands hurt. I look down at them and they are pressed firmly to the earth, one moving in front of the other. I must be crawling? I don't know how much time has passed, but I wake up on the sand. I inspect my blistering hands. Floofy Butt is sitting next to me, facing the sea. Did I dream all that?
Oh, you're awake now. No, I'm afraid you weren't dreaming.
What happened?
It was my fault. I took you too close to the danger zone, and your current state, you couldn't handle it.
In my current state?
Your feline transition is still in its early stages. It seems to be progressing particularly slowly in you.
So I'm still very vulnerable to the effects of elder territory?
Quite. I was foolish. I didn't think it. I was too interested in myself, my stories, my treasure, to protect you properly. Please, forgive me.
Do we forgive him or like, hey, you put me in danger?
But he's already like,
yeah.
I was selfish. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
You actually mean something special to me.
Yeah. Ah, it's okay, Major. Don't upset yourself. I had a lot of fun until the whole blackout thing. Floofy Butt looks genuinely pleased.
Yes. Really? I've been told I'm a very good, what?
Raconteur.
Raconteur.
One of the best. And I believe a raconteur is like a
Storyteller?
sort of an engaging storyteller who can like
Well, we did hear thunder.
yeah,
They're bringing, the elements of the story to life.
yeah, but like who can like mislead and like trick people. Like a raconteur is maybe somebody who's not entirely above board and is using their talents for personal gain.
Oh.
I believe. Let me look up the definition of raconteur because now I'm paranoid that I don't know what it means. There ain't no shame in looking up weird words. That's the only way you learn all those 10-cent words.
I don't know if they're promoting a good quality then, if it means to mislead.
A person who tells anecdotes in a skillful and amusing way, according to dictionary.com.
Oh, okay.
Just relate and recount. I thought it was somebody who used that for like their own purposes, but I guess not. Well, there you go.
Very good.
Might have negative connotations. Apparently, according to the dictionary, it doesn't. That's just me.
I guess it depends on what you're using your stories for.
Mm-hmm.
How much did you hear?
I'm sorry?
How many of my anecdotes did you hear before you succumbed? I would
I
be
hate this
happy to
cat.
repeat anything you missed.
Oh, no, really, Major. I'm fairly certain I heard them all.
Well, if you're quite sure.
I am, and besides, I think I have a migraine coming on.
Well, in that case, you must allow me to nurse you until you are fully recovered.
Okay, Major, it's a deal. Major?
Yes?
Why do I have earrings in my hair?
I had to pelt you with jewelry to get you to wake up.
Ah, of course. If you don't mind, Major, I think I need to get back to sleep. I lay back down on the warm sand and curl into a ball.
I'll be here when you wake up.
I drift off and I dream that I'm a cat.
Well, that was
Let's just
action-packed.
run back romance.
Yeah, we're getting there.
I've rushed out of the forest on Floofy Butt's insistence that I meet him at the location of his treasure chest. After the incident, we called on McMurphy and Kibbles to help us drag it to a new spot, further away from the Elder territory. Major, are you okay? I was in the middle of preparing lunch when I received your urgent summons.
Quite. I was pawing through my collection just now, and I couldn't help but reflect upon some of our adventures.
Oh, so you dragged me away from the kitchen to reminisce.
Indeed! I've grown rather fond of our expeditions together. I do seem to find more unique articles when you accompany me.
You've trained me well, Major. Any advancement I've made in the treasure hunting field is entirely thanks to you.
Yes, no! You have a natural ability, rather impressive.
You flatter me, Major.
Not at all. I'm a fair cat. It is my belief that good work deserves just reward.
Reward?
Indeed. So I felt it would only be right to let you keep an item from my inventory, so that you may start a collection of your own.
It's too kind of you, Major. I'm touched.
Yes, well, let's have a look, shall we? You may choose whatever you like, my dear. Absolutely anything.
I peer into Floofy Butt's treasure chest. All the gems and bits of precious metal sparkle and glint in the sunlight. I gently move some of the more bijou trinkets out of the way and dig deep for the good stuff. Wow. I grasp a red gem with the size of my fist. I wonder if it's a ruby, but before I can begin to examine it, Floofy Butt has swiped it away with his paw.
No idea what that's doing in there.
I think I see how this is going to go.
Anything else, Kenneth? Whatever you like.
How about this? I untangle a string of pearl, creamy and iridescent, clearly very good quality, even to my untrained eye. Floofy looks uncomfortable.
Yes, they are rather special, aren't they? I do have a particular fondness for them.
I let him off the hook as my eye catches the sight of something dull and cheap-looking. Major, what on earth is this? The filthy bottle sticks out like a sore thumb against the shiny baubles Floofy usually likes to collect.
Oh, that? Heavens, I forgot all about that thing. It might suit you. if you shake it, you'll hear something rattling about in there. I do believe it contains a note or a script of some kind.
He's selling it to me.
Silly, really. I did get it into my head to find a way to open that bottle, but the cork is wedged in tight.
I choose this to start my collection, Major.
Really? That old thing?
But I can tell he's absolutely delighted. Yes, and I have an idea how to open it.
Go on. You have my attention.
I whip off my apron and loosely wrap it around the bottle, then smash it unceremoniously against the side of a tree.
You didn't even try to open the cork.
No.
Just go. Good gracious, Kenneth, how lively of you.
38, 9/11 basic bites freeze tiered with 100 bits. The idea of dating Floofy Bud is making me feline awful. What a catastrophe. Kitten, we play something more meowsing or positive? That would be perfect for sure. I'm going to say that you actually like this, considering all those cat puns.
Those are good puns.
I have a feeling the real treasure is this. I carefully pick the parchment from amongst the shards of glass and cast a cursory eye over the faded scribbles. A genuine message in a bottle. This could fill in so many blanks about the history of this place.
A piece of paper?
Oh, Major, this is not just a piece of paper. This is anything better. This is better than anything I could have hoped for.
Well, if that's what you deem to be treasure, then please, be my guest.
Thank you so much, Major. I grin from ear to ear. Must go now, though. I'm late for lunch duty. I excitedly kiss Floofy Butt on his furry head before dashing back to base. New bottle, who dis, says Inventory. Oh, I unlocked a recon by doing that.
Nice.
Interesting.
Alright. We're getting a lot more story this time around. Or maybe it just feels like it.
Alright. So.
That was a kiss.
I think it's time to... Yeah, let's do that. Let's take a look at that message in the bottle.
Yeah! I want to know.
The ink is surprisingly well preserved. The only obstacle to my understanding of this letter is deciphering the scrawling scribble. But some words I can make out, like punished, God, and presumably the signature at the bottom, Bill. I can make out some other words, but they appear to be badly misspelled, or possibly not even English, but some other hybrid language, maybe colloquial? I mean, English spelling has drifted quite a bit. Oh, excuse me. I spent an hour or two, though it feels much longer. Oh, Anonymously Ominous has subscribed for 39 months, or Ominously Ominous has subscribed for 39 months in a row. I spend an hour or two, though it feels much longer, attempting to translate each character and syllable into my notepad. I obsessively write and rewrite words until a sentence takes shape, and eventually I am left with something quite legible. Once I am satisfied that each word is correct and each sentence has meaning, I read it through from beginning to end. To whoever finds this bottled message. We have been cursed. We be judged for our sins. We wrecked on the rocks. I couldn't tell you where we are, but I think it is hell. The cats, they are everywhere and they won't forgive us. They know what we done. My guts burn for food. I had no choice. I had to eat. I regret it now. God help me, I do. Now I am cursed. The boys are too. The cats are eating us slowly from the inside. It burns more than hunger. It burns me rotten. They stare at me all the time with their yellow eyes. They know what we done. They are getting retribution. Justice. Oh, it's the people from that shipwreck. They ate some wild cats and then they got cursed to maybe become cats?
Yeah, maybe.
God help me, I pray for death. If you find yourself in the path of the infinite island, turn back. Don't do what we done. Leave them. This is their island. I need my little Lucy to know I love her. I'm sorry, Petal. Bill. I read it again. And then again. But it seems the more I read it, the less it makes sense to me. I wonder if reading it aloud might help me to understand, like in school. We have been cursed. We be judged for our sins. We wrecked on the rocks. So their ship crashed and they survived. I'm not sure if they're very lucky or very unlucky. The cats won't forgive us. I had to eat. I had no choice. My skin prickles with goosebumps. Who knows what lengths anyone might go to in order to survive. I'm capable of a lot more than I'd like to believe. Sat here in the comfort of my tent, but this? My stomach turns at the thought of it. I think I understand what Bill means, but the next part is less clear and still more disturbing. Stop me if you've heard this one has just subscribed. What a great Smiths reference. if that's the case. They're eating us from the inside. Like food poisoning? The thought of that is bad enough. I've eaten a few dodgy prawns in my time. I shudder at the memory of it. I can't help thinking he means something else. Something worse. Surely the place Bill is talking about is here, this island. The Infinite Island? I've never heard anyone to refer to this place as the Infinite Island before. Most people call it Cat Island or the Verloren Island, formally. Perhaps this crew are the first humans to step foot on this place. How long have the cats been here anyway? This letter seems to be at least 100 years old, and the cats were pretty well established by then, by the sound of things. Oh, Verloren is German for lost, says Esthantius. Interesting. The cats in this note must be the elders. I suddenly feel another pang of sympathy for Bill and the crew, and how frightening the elders can be. I decide not to tell Floofy about the contents of his gift. It would only add to his paranoia. I instead promise myself that I will look into this further another time. Except it's not going to be this research assistant because our time here is almost done.
Yeah. Maybe if we successfully, if we successfully romance Floofy.
I don't want to romance Floofy, do you?
No, but like, what if we live because of it?
Maybe.
What if we just turn into a cat and live here forever and move on to the next assistant instead of dying?
That's true. There are waves crashing. The sound is so loud I can't make myself be heard, but I still scream to the life raft that's moving away from the sinking ship. I'm going down with the ship. I'm being thrashed against the sides of the old wooden vessel. This isn't right. The ship looks wrong. The cat's face looms up close to mine. Everything is wrong, all of it. Which cat are you? But the words come out of my mouth as mewling, and I realize I'm not myself. I'm some kind of beast. Suddenly I'm flying. I'm in the claws of some enormous bird. The beating wings are deafening. I look down to see the ground approaching really fast. You can drop through the break. What does that mean? What break? What break?
Yes!
I've never seen Mrs. Marigold before.
I was just thinking that we hadn't received that many messages from them this time.
Yeah. You want to do Mrs. Marigold?
Sure. Breakfast, rise and shine.
And that's it.
Goodbye.
Alright, well, let's go on our last date with Floofy Butt.
Yeah. Well, let's see how it goes.
The game's going faster, at least.
Yeah.
I'm taking a late stroll along the beach, walking off my dinner, when I spot a familiar shape in the distance. Major? He begins slinking away, but I'm sure he must have heard me. Hey, wait! Floofy Butt stops, but makes no move towards me.
Oh, Kenneth, I was just enjoying this lovely evening.
It's dark and stormy. Is everything okay? He seems very distracted.
Yes, all in good order.
I haven't seen you for a while. A paranoid person might think they were being avoided.
Well, it's a good thing you're not paranoid then, isn't it?
I suppose so. There's an awkward silence.
Well, must be getting on. Mice to catch, you know?
There aren't any mice here, Major.
Just a turn of phrase, Kenneth, but I'm sure you have things to be getting on with.
Actually, I have some time if you'd care to stroll together. The Ginger Tom shifts uncomfortably.
Actually, I have other plans.
Really? He's not forthcoming with the details, and just as I suspect, he's making up excuses. I hear a long, yowling sound coming from the direction of the forest. Then, to my surprise, Floofy Butt lets out a similar call, and his demeanor changes.
Sorry, Kenneth, I really must go. Okay, so we failed romancing him, and he's not even interested in us.
That's fine. Oh, I see. The penny finally drops, and I realize he has a date with another cat.
I feel rather embarrassed.
Good. Why, Major? I'm pleased for you.
Really?
Of course.
I must say, I'm glad to have your blessing, Kenneth. I believe you and I have become good chums over the time we've spent together here. I rather think you would like my new companion.
I didn't really think that we had a romance thing going on.
They're so forward-thinking.
Wow.
We chose wrong.
Yeah, well, whatever. Who
We
cares?
should have challenged him.
I didn't want to challenge. I don't want to date this cat.
No, that's fine. That's fine. They always endeavor to challenge my lazy prejudices. I think you'd approve.
I do, Major. It sounds like you found a real catch. I notice a slight feeling of regret rise within me, but I try to muster up a smile.
Thank you, Kenneth. You're a good friend.
But his eyes are focused on the sound came from, and I can tell he's itching to go. Have fun, Major.
I rather think I will.
And off he darts, moving faster than I've ever seen him move before. I stand still for a moment, watching the place he's disappeared to, and I feel a wave of utter loneliness wash over me.
Well, he won't miss us when we're dead, so this might be a good ending. Well,
yes, I'm ready. Alright, research 9 is my only option here. So I notice there's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 18. Okay, so if everybody does 3 research choices, we will complete all of the research. Okay.
Yeah. Oh no!
Poor Socks doesn't seem to be getting better. Time to put my veterinary training to the test.
Sucks.
I'm just fucking up all the choices. I should just salined it. Oh, wait. There we go. Oh, so even if we'd salined, perfect.
Okay.
Stardust KL is subscribed for 6 months in a row, saying we may have been dumped, but we're still going strong. And Dwachak has cheered with 300 bits, saying friend zoned. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean,
If the
maybe
Major had
it
been
feels
like-
a little better than like just letting him down by being like, sorry, I'm not interested actually.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Like, I'm totally okay with not going off with this cat.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with when people are like, I don't want to date you. That's okay. That's their choice. Don't get sad about it. Like, if you really want to date them, you can feel sad about it, but you wouldn't want anybody to force you to date somebody.
There's more cats.
Yeah. This world has near infinite cats. Anyhow, I'm worried about Socks. None of the treatments so far seem to be clearing up his wound. Cream 116 hasn't helped one bit. In fact, my gut feeling is telling me it might be the cause of the deterioration. The entire site is now swollen and too sore to touch, even with a soft cotton pad. I decided to ask the professor for his advice.
Sorry to disturb you, sir, but I need your advice on Socks. Send pics, please.
I snapped a picture of my catalog and sent it to the professor.
Yes, that does look nasty. Have you tried Cream 116?
I did, sir. Sight worse, swollen and inflamed.
I suggest persevering. Cream 116 can take a while, but will pay off.
I feel doubtful, but I resign myself to the professor's seniority.
If unsatisfied, try steroid formula in fridge. Red bag.
I rummage around the fridge until I find the red bag behind a box of vitamin supplements. Got it. Thank you for your help, sir. I pour the milk into a small bowl, and I am relieved that Socks seems to like it. I sit with him as he laps him up and keeps an eye on him for a while. After an hour, I'm satisfied that he's sleeping happily and all his vital stats are normal. I'm sitting on my bunk, looking around at the empty tent that has been my home for the past 8 weeks. It's astonishing how much rubbish you could accumulate in a short period of time. It's taken me hours, but I finally sorted out everything and have my bag packed. In some ways, I wish I was staying, but I know if I'm going to make any more progress on the antidote, I will need expert help, the kind I can only get on the mainland. So it's time to head out. There's just one last thing left to do. I make my way to the place where Floofy Butt and I have spent so much time together. I was hoping I would find him here, nosing through his collection of treasures and artifacts. The hollowed-out tree looks almost sad, neglected. I remain a safe distance to avoid the effects of the danger zone, but even this far, I get the feeling the Major hasn't been here for a while. I'm gutted. I wanted to say goodbye in person. Major, are you here? When I'm satisfied he's nowhere around, I take out the small pillow I made from one of my t-shirts. It doesn't seem a lot, but I put so much effort into making it. I've stitched our names in a little heart, and I drew some seagulls around the edges and stuffed it with catnip.
No.
Aw, I thought he had made appreciate a bit of comfort with his advancing years. I can only hope Snooty Booty doesn't get her claws into it. I place it at the foot of the mighty tree under a couple of palm leaves and make my way to the dock without looking back.
We should put it in the treasure chest. And why hasn't he said goodbye to us? We're friends.
Yeah. Joe, the strange boy who runs the ferry with his dad Bob, is waiting on the jetty.
You're almost late.
I'm not in the mood for his nonsense today. I feel miserable. But I'm not, though, am I, Joe? Almost late is not late.
Something got your goat.
I ignore him and make my way onto the boat. You can email me, TVDK. It's Kathleen@loadingreadyrun.com. Then, just as we begin navigating our way into the open water, something from the land catches my eye. I can just make out the shape of a fluffy orange blob waving from the end of the jetty. Ah! Oh my goodness. And I wave back frantically. Someone come to see you off? Yes, it's the Major. Hi, Major. It's been an adventure.
I can't see no one. You going a bit mental?
Oh, thank you, Graham. Look, just there, the ball of orange, the tomcat. Joe's gone very quiet, and when I glance at him, he's eyeing me suspiciously.
Oh, that's a shame. No.
What?
Dad! Something wrong, son? This one's sick.
I don't understand. I'm fine. Bob appears from the driver's cabin. That's all right, son. You take care of the steering wheel. Good lad. Joe does as he's told, and I'm leaving Bob and I face to face. Is there something wrong, Bob?
I'm afraid there is. It's not personal. I happen to like you.
He's reached into his pocket and is aiming something that looks like a pistol at me. I laugh nervously. This must be some kind of prank.
It's just, we can't have you going back to the mainland and infecting normal people, can we?
Before I can answer, everything goes black. God damn it.
I wonder if Floofy Bud saw a sketch. No successful dates. It's complicated.
Yeah.
Jeez. None of them. I guess we didn't eat the seagull, and we didn't challenge them, and
Yeah.
they were meeting another cat. So.
Is it possible you live if you successfully romance? Let's try this time around. Alright, who next? Just want to go through in order?
Yeah, why not?
Alright, who's this?
They're just all gonna die. Major letdown, indeed.
Wait, there are secrets to find? Possibly, yeah. Alright, so what's this guy's name? I like that we have like a variety of ethnicities represented here.
Yeah.
Brad, Chad, he looks Hawaiian. Brad, 2 votes for Brad. Chad, a lot of votes for Brad and Chad.
Brad, Chad. Chad, Brad. Brad, Chad, Chad, Chad.
Justin, Vlad, Chab. How about Brad was the first suggestion. I like it.
Okay.
All right, Brad, you're up. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna eat some breakfast.
More people.
It was a long boat journey. My legs are a bit wobbly as I make my way up the wooden jetty to meet the security guard who has come to collect me. ID. I rummage about in my bag until I find the laminated security pass I was issued on the mainland.
Brad, you know nothing.
Poor Brad.
Yeah.
Come on then, follow me. I have to walk quite a pace to keep up with him. So the social type, so we trek along in silence until we're in a camp and outside a large tent. He's waiting for you in there.
Glad to have you on board, Brad. Shall we just go through a few formalities and then call it a day so you can get some rest before you start work properly tomorrow?
Sounds good to me, sir.
So first, shall we have a little refreshment? I have water, coffee, or something stronger, perhaps. Whiskey?
Oh, these are different choices. I'm parched. Do you have any water? It's a bit early in the day, but sure, I'll have a small whiskey.
Okay, so we tried tea before and they're like, no, that's gross. We've had water, that seemed fine. Maybe... what if we say no? Like, I'm not thirsty.
Oh, I like that plan.
Because, like, I don't think they want us to have whiskey this early.
Nothing for me, thanks. I'm not thirsty.
You must keep hydrated, even if you're not thirsty. This island gets very hot.
Thanks for the advice. Blah, blah, blah.
Catalog. Cat.
I made some of the local cats and learned how to scan with them, which was a lot of fun. Finally, I'm shown down to my tent to settle down for the night. Oh. Daniel Lewis, 84, subscribed for 10 months in a row. While I'm unpacking, I find something very interesting under my bed. It's the personal journal of the previous research assistant, the one before me. As I read, I begin to discover there's a lot more going on here than I was told about. It's hard to believe this stuff is true. Maybe the last researcher was prone to flights of fancy. Still makes a great bedtime story material, and I stay up reading until my eyelids begin to close. In spite of my best efforts to read to the end, I drift into a deep sleep.
So, we just, like, left it behind on purpose? How does it keep getting back there? Wouldn't we have taken it with us?
I mean, maybe...
It's our research journal.
I wake with a start. I can hear the rustling of paper coming from the tent flap. It's a cat with something in its mouth. It has the journal! Wait! It has run off into the night. Chasing the cat at full speed into the forest, I must get that book back. It has everything I need to know in it. I start to feel woozy and then relate. I have two blah blah blah. I'm in the danger zone.
Yeah, maybe we do just leave it behind.
Yeah. Alright, this is the same thing with Trixie. Was it Trixie who stole our thing in the first place? Or the catalog from Jolene?
Yep. Yeah, I think it was.
Trixie, huh?
Hello, can you hear me? Are you okay?
Here we go again!
Move back a bit. Let them breathe.
Has it been bitten? The Sphinx cat is standing over me, staring as I open my eyes.
Yes, definitely bitten. Look at its hand.
I bring my hand up to my face, and through my blurry vision I can make out several deep scratches and puncture marks. The cats watch me intently. Is this real? I saw something in the journal about kidnapping. Catnapping! Yeah.
We're sorry. It was the only way.
My head has begun to clear, and I realize if I talk to this... Blah, 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 this is the same dialogue.
Yeah. We need to have a talk, human.
No, we don't. I know what's going on. I've got the sickness. That's why I can hear you. What happens now? That rather depends on you, human.
So, are you gonna help us or not?
Ugh. Well, of course I am. You need my help, and I need yours. I'm gonna find an antidote.
Spoken like a true champion.
Well, let's hope it's third time lucky. That should be more than likely.
Unfortunately, the last one didn't get very far with discovering what happened to our friends.
They didn't make an antidote either. Well, I think with their notes to build on, I'm gonna crack this. Well, I promise to give it my best shot at least.
Hurrah!
Respect.
Jolly good show.
My catalog starts beeping. But right now I have to get to work! I'm just about to enter the lab to to begin my legitimate work when the catalog beeps. A message without any contact information.
Loose lips think ships.
Huh. I remember reading something about messages in the journal, but I was so sleepy last night I don't recall what it was. I decided to ignore the mystery messenger for now or I'll be late for work. And the professor is already working when I arrive, but I'm not too late, so there's no fuss. Blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
CFS Brawl, you can thank Corey for that one. Well. Snooty Booty or Trixie? We ignored Snooty Booty for so long.
That's true. They did just like haphazardly apply cream to themselves to look younger. And then Trixie took us to that super cool color pool. It's a tough choice.
Snooty? Ah, let's go Snooty.
Okay. We can break up lines.
Ah. Yeah, you can be Snooty Booty. I'm splayed out like a starfish on the beach in my bathing clothes. It's a swelteringly hot day, and I find it hard to concentrate on my work, so here I am. I let the cool sea wash over my feet and legs as I lay back on the sand. I hear a loud, long sigh coming from somewhere nearby, and I sit up to see where it came from. Snooty Booty, in repose under the shade of a palm tree, is looking about her with a concerned expression, one that I've never really seen a cat make before. I go over to see if I can help with something. You okay, Snooty Booty? She lets out another long, wistful sigh.
To be quite frank with you, human, no, I'm not okay. I cannot expose this delicate skin of mine to the sun, but there's something I need to retrieve from further down the beach. It is quite the predicament.
Oh, right. Want me to fetch it for you?
Oh, would you really be so kind, human? I would be very grateful.
Sure, it's no problem. We can't have you put that delicate skin of yours at risk, can we? Snooty Booty looks grave.
Indeed not. Skin must come above all else, don't you know? One must never expose one's skin to the elements, human. It really is quite aging. One must also never get stressed if one wishes to retain one's youthful aura, which is rather difficult on this frightful island.
Oh, I know, believe me.
How do you know? Are you stressed? Oh no, that would upset me terribly.
Really? That's sweet of you.
Of course. You are a precious thing. I do hope you are finding your time here pleasant.
Don't worry about me, Snooty Booty. I'm fine. Now, what was it that you'd like me to get for you?
Well, before I tell you, I must ask that you don't inform the others of the whereabouts of this particular item.
I kind of want to get a hairless cat next.
Yeah.
They're so cute.
With their little wrinkles that you have to clean out.
Oh, that sounds disgusting. But I just want to put my hairless cat in a sweater and then not have like a million tufts of cat hair to pick up every single morning. Baxter sheds so much.
I know.
He's so fluffy and cuddly, though.
Yeah. They're all hiding stuff on this island.
Yeah.
It is very dear to me, you see, and one of the few luxuries I have all to myself.
Of course, that's no problem. I can be discreet when I need to be.
I do hope so, human. You see along the beach, just south of here, there's a tree which bears the ripest of coconuts all year round. It is quite splendid. The coconuts are always so sweet and creamy.
Snooty Booty looks as if she's lost in a wonderful dream. Sounds lovely?
It is! I like to drink coconut water as often as I can, as it's so good for the skin and waistline. But the less civilized denizens of the island keep knocking the coconuts down before they're fully matured. Fortunately, no one else seems to have discovered this particular tree yet.
Okay, well, Snooty Booty, I'll try to find some coconuts for you. I'll be back soon.
You have my thanks, human.
He just did a marketplace special on like coconut water and other like health claims, and apparently coconut water is the same as drinking water for hydration, but it has some carbs and calories in it that water doesn't.
Yeah.
So, you know. I've been walking for a lot longer than Snooty Booty led me to believe. I'm not sure if this is even the right tree. They all look the same to me, although this one does seem to have more coconuts than the others. I decided to take a chance and bundle up as many as I can carry in my arms and haul them back to her ladyship. By the time I get back to Snooty Booty, I'm faint from the exertion, not to mention walking so far in the sun. I fall to my knees, panting in front of her. Here you go, Boots. She eyes the pile with a distinct air of disapproval.
I only needed one coconut, human.
Oh.
These are far too many.
Well, I do apologize, madame.
Tell me, you didn't plunder the tree?
No, there are plenty on the ground already, so...
Oh, well, that's a small mercy. At least you didn't hack them down.
Hack them down with what?
Well, your hands are rather large and leathery.
Snooty Booty, I do not use my hands for deforestation.
Well, I'm sure you did your very best, although I don't know what I'm going to do with so many coconuts.
You're welcome, I'm sure. I look down at the pile of coconuts, and it strikes me properly for the first time how strange it is that there are no creatures on the island to plunder them. What do you think it is, Snoots, that keeps the wildlife away from the island?
Do you mean the magnetic barrier?
Magnetic barrier?
Oh, do keep up, human. I thought you were meant to be a scientist.
I realize she must be referring to the force field that surrounds the island.
Now, be a dear and crack one open for me.
with my enormous hands.
Well, you could try, I suppose.
I push down the irritation that is slowly rising in me and smile politely. On second thoughts, I'll be right back with a screwdriver.
A what?
Snooty Booty looks horrified. It's a sharp metal tool that bores into things.
What on earth do you need one of those for?
So that I can make a hole to get the water out of the coconut. How else would you propose I do it?
Well, look around you, dear. Look at nature's bounties. What about that?
Snooty gestures with a limp paw at a shard of rock nearby. Snoots, how do you usually get the water out of the coconut when there isn't a human around?
Well, the exuberant Kibble simply loves to break things. Had you not noticed? It's one of the few reasons I tolerate him, don't you know? Far better than one of your screw dribblers, don't you think?
Interesting. I thought all these were humans that had been turned into cats, but how do you not know what a screwdriver is?
Maybe they're earlier people.
Hmm.
Maybe they are just cats.
I reach over and pick up the rock. It does look like it could actually do the job. Okay, let's give it a try. Here goes. Holding a coconut and a palm leaf, I gently tap the shell a few times with the stone before finally whacking it. Cracks open surprisingly easily, and the water drains into the leaf.
There now. See how nature provides, human?
Yep, again, you're welcome.
Quite.
Snooty Booty stretches her neck and then upper body towards the leaf. She sticks her tongue out as far as it can go before raising her big eyes to me.
I can't quite seem to...
I suddenly realize what she's getting at. Maybe... No way, this is too much. This little princess is far too spoiled. I think it's hard time... Now this is gonna fuck our date with Snooty Booty.
I mean...
I don't
maybe
care.
she wants someone that she doesn't just push
I don't
around.
care. I'm not fucking moving a no. No.
No.
I think it's high time she learned to do things for herself. Is there something the matter, Snoots?
Well, you've placed my libation slightly out of my reach.
Oh dear, and you're so thirsty.
Yes, it is the predicament.
I would not do this for anybody. I wouldn't do this for my own cat. If Baxter's like, meh, put the treat in my mouth, I'd be like... So what are you going to do about that then?
I beg your pardon?
Well, it seems you are here and your drink is all the way over there. However are you going to quench your thirst?
Are you speaking in riddles?
Oh, there's no way I'd help this cat out. Not really, more like parables. For instance, if the mountain won't come to Muhammad, maybe Muhammad should get off her little pink booty and go to the mountain herself. Snooty Booty looks at me bemused.
I'm sorry, who is Muhammad?
In this situation, you are Muhammad. Snooty Booty gives me an exasperated look.
I have no time for your nonsense. I'm going to die of dehydration at this rate, human.
She scoots awkwardly on her stomach until she gets within reach of the palm leaf and delicately laps at it. That looks delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Snooty agrees without taking a break. You know, searching for those coconuts was thirsty work.
I'm sure it was.
She's still lapping at the water. Oh, my throat's a bit scratchy, especially in this heat. Snooty Booty finally comes up for air.
Quite. That's the beauty of the coconut, you see. So hydrating and most palatable, too. You really ought to try it sometime.
I look down at the now dry palm leaf. Yes, that's a good idea, Boots.
I mean, didn't we just get, like,
Yeah.
multiple coconuts?
Yeah, but like,
Can't we
it's
just...
rude not to share.
There's only one leaf.
Okay, well.
It's not implied.
Yeah.
And the very best thing after drinking coconut water is to curl up and have a nap, you know? Beauty sleep is most important.
Oh, is that so?
Indeed, human. I suppose you have other things to do now.
Well. Snooty Booty yawns and closes her eyes. I suppose I do. Sweet dreams, princess. She snores softly in reply. Hello, formerly known as Cleaver. Oh my god.
Oh, that was something.
Let's do some recon. Okay, so we have 6 and 11.
Oh.
Huh?
He was receiving letters.
I don't remember these fragrant pink letters.
It was from our first researcher.
Oh.
He said that no one checks them in the mail. If it's, if it looks inconspicuous.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
I run through the sequence one more time. I know it by heart, but I'm nervous. I've been watching long enough to be sure that the routine is just like clockwork. No deviations, well apart from one, and I've made that work for me. The boat arrives at 1300 hours. Zane, always alone, talks to the older man Bob, who hands over the post, while the younger of the two, Joe, loads up the dolly with boxes of supplies. Zane puts the envelopes, never more than 3, into the breast pocket of his jacket. That solves the mystery of why he always overdresses whenever the boat comes in. He then wheels the dolly to the mess tents and unloads the food supplies, then to the lab and unloads the medical supplies, then to the storage hut where he unloads the remaining packages and leaves the dolly. Next, he goes to Professor Popper's tent. The professor is in, he hands over 2 of the envelopes, keeping the third, his puzzler, in his jacket pocket. If, however, the professor isn't in his tent, Zane makes his way back down to the chair on the dock, drapes his jacket over the back of it, and spends the afternoon on his puzzles before going back again in the evening to deliver the professor's mail. He never lets the envelopes out of his jacket pocket or the jacket out of his sight, so the only opportunity would be to pickpocket the security guard when he takes his jacket off, but that relies on Professor Popper not being in the tent. Luckily I've ensured, with the help of my feline friends, that the professor will be held up during his out-of-grounds inspection. Usually, Popper just meanders around the inter-perimeter of the base camp area and checks out that all's well. Most days everything is, but today Kibbles and Trixies have staged a little rumpus that will engage him for just enough time to miss Zane's delivery. He is, of course, sat in his usual place, jacket draped over this chair. Hey there, Zane!
217.
I suppose we're on first-name terms now. I have a little something for you. Zane frowns but does not look at me. Said his eyes are where they always are, on his crossword. I made you a puzzle! He eyes me skeptically. A crossword, to be exact. It's pretty tricky if I do say so myself. I created the puzzle using all of the cat's general knowledge. Major McMurphy thought of some particularly treacherous teasers, while Kibbles and Trixie offered some great obscure pop culture questions. Snooty Booty was mostly trying to get the cat treats out of my pocket. Formerly known as Clever, subscribed for 4 months in a row saying a guy holding a cleaver turns to his friends and asked, why do people keep giving me this handle? I hand the because I misread it when I was reading. I hand the paper to Zane, who's still frowning. This dick's having a whale of a time. Is this a joke? Oh, it gets harder. Zane peers over the crossword. Why did you... Oh, sorry.
Why did you make this for me?
Well, you know how bored I get, and I like you, Zane. Zane breaks into the first smile I've seen on his face, and although small and slightly uncomfortable looking.
I don't have anything for you.
Yes, he's warming to me. This plan is going spiffingly. Oh, don't worry about all that. All I want is for you to complete it. I make my hands into a heart shape while Zane is distracted. I feel stupid, but McMurphy insisted that would be my signal for him to strike, and sure enough, he slinks cool as anything. He winds his feline body between Zane's legs unnoticed. Zane's tongue is now sticking out and his shoulders are hunched in concentration. You stuck already? I dart a look at McMurphy to get ready to make his move. He throws me a disconcerting wink.
It's not that hard, just this one about archetypal counterpart to Yadira?
Yandere!
No! What?
Wow. Oh yes, that's quite niche. Thanks for that one, Kibbles. What? Kibbles is a weeaboo.
Kibbles hasn't even been an option yet.
While I engage Zane, I can see that McMurphy has already reached up as though stretching against the chair and nudged his nose into the inside breast pocket of the jacket.
Oi, shoo! Get out of it!
I see McMurphy scamper off and my heart sinks. Anyway, I'll check back later and see how you're getting on with it. Zane grunts in response. I walk back, dejected, to where McMurphy and I had agreed to meet after our mission was over, and suddenly my spirits lift at the sight of a little pink corner peeking out from under the designated rock. McMurphy, you're a star!
There's no end to my talents.
I snatch up the envelope, say goodbye to McMurphy, and head to the privacy of my tent. I examine my trophy while the kettle boils. I'm touched by the pretty pink envelope and delicate fragrance, and suddenly feel embarrassed. Am I prying into the professor's love life? What has gotten into me, getting notions of secret goings-on and subterfuge? I'm about to put the letter back when I'm overwhelmed by curiosity. I wonder who the professor's secret love could be. What are they like? Woman? Man? Other? Before I can contain myself, I have steamed open the flap and I'm peeking inside. It's not all what I expect, and my previous suspicions come flooding back. This paper is in stark contrast to the pretty pink wrapping. It is a typed message on a white paper.
Percival, I have been informed of your latest subject. I would rather hear about such things from you personally. It would not be wise to take my silence for authorization. Please keep this in mind for future transactions. I will let this indiscretion slide, but if it is ever repeated, I will no choice but to deal with you the way I dealt with 124.
That was the research assistant before we started the game. Because we were 125, then 126, now we're on 127.
Yeah. Goodness. As for the project, case study number 6 is aesthetic.
What does aesthetic mean?
Yeah. Nick. Aesthetic.
Aesthetic.
Please act accordingly.
I'm gonna look that up. Do. A-S-T-H-E-N-I-C. Relating to, involving, or suffering from anesthesia.
Oh. Okay.
Debilitated, characterized by slender build and slight muscular development, ectomorphic.
Asthenia.
Weak, lacking
Asthenia?
energy. Huh. Interesting.
P-103 has been unsuccessful. Void any further investigation. Lab 09 has received the newest batch protocol to begin on the 8th. Finally, I trust your new assistant has arrived and is proving to be more helpful than the previous one. We seem to have had a run of bad luck in that particular area, so they know. As you know, I do not abide bad luck and will expect a reversal of fortune post-haste. Faithfully yours, 7.
Huh.
Well.
More recon.
Yeah? To uncover secrets.
Because, yeah.
So yeah, I guess his experiments aren't going well.
I've been asked to help with the loading and unloading of supplies today. This suits me because I've been itching for the chance to talk to the ferryman and his son. I'm curious to see if they have any useful bits of info that might help me in my quest to find out the real story of this island. The boat only comes once a week and every other weekend. The weekend deliveries are all the good things. Food, mail, treats, etc. And the mood is always lighthearted. The midweek trips, on the other hand, are strictly work-related and tend to be early morning when we're all a bit grumpy, or at night when we're overtired. Today it's early, so that light has only just broken. Zane and I are waiting down on the jetty.
They're late.
Really? It's only 5 minutes.
Bob's never late.
Huh, must be quite a long trip, though, to the mainland. We expect at least 5, maybe 10 minutes either way.
Bob's never late.
Huh. Remember that Zane isn't one for chit-chat, so I keep quiet and wait. Thankfully, it isn't long. I can hear the sound of the boat's engine before I can see it, since the morning mist hasn't been burned off by the sun yet. Zane straightens up, and suddenly they're here, emerging from the mists like a ghost ship. They've been doing this so long, it only takes them a few minutes to dock and tie off before we're stepping aboard.
Right.
Another man of a few words. I nod to Bob's son, Joe, and he nods back. I guess we're the same age, but he's huge.
Problems? A few extra crates. Held us up 5 minutes. Okay. Me and Bob will do the shifting. You two do the stacking. Until we come back with the outgoing. You stay aboard and sort out the incoming. Got that, Brainy?
He's looking at me. Brainy? I'm totally excited that Zane has given me a nickname, but a little crushed that the nickname is Brainy.
Maybe you liked the crossword puzzle.
Sure, you bring him, we fling him. I see that I'm the only one grinning like a fool.
Joe knows what to do. You do as you're told.
You're gone before I can say anything else. Joe has already started loading up the dolly with incoming crates. He's clearly an old hand at this. You look like you've been doing this your whole life. Family business?
Move those crates there. They need to go off next.
He sidestepped my question, but I'm not sure if it's deliberate, so I try a different tack. You don't go to college then, Joe?
Nope.
I'm not getting anywhere with this, so I changed to something less personal. Zane said you're never late, which is pretty impressive considering how far you have to come. This is like pulling teeth. How far is it exactly?
Quite far.
Oh, really? And do you stop anywhere en route, or were you your only drop-off? And suddenly, Joe has stopped what he's doing, is standing toe-to-toe with me, locked onto my eyes so I can't look away.
Kiss.
Yeah.
You have a lot of questions in you. My suggestion would be to keep them there, on the inside. Don't do no good poking your nose into other people's business.
I'm shocked by his bluntness. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. I was just making small talk.
You live with all them cats. Learn from them.
My heart beats faster. I think he's gonna tell me something. What?
All cats know. Curiosity kills them.
He starts to laugh out loud, and I just stand with my mouth open, not sure how to respond.
Too real! What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?
And he laughs even harder, and I'm feeling creeped out and really relieved to hear the two older men returning.
Everything all right here?
They have the crates loaded onto the boat.
What's up with you, Bernie? You look a bit wobbly. Not your sea legs yet? We were playing cat and mouse, Dad.
Bob turns sharply to his son and shuts him up with a look.
You don't want to mind him. He doesn't mean no harm. Best take what he says with a pinch of salt.
I look behind. I see a look past between him and Zane and get the feeling there's a lot more going on here than I understand.
You need to get back now, Bernie. We can take it from here.
I want to ask to stay to be given another chance, but all three men are just looking at me, and I turn and slink away.
Uncomfortable.
Huh.
Well, that was the thing. I guess we might unlock more recon with romance.
Probably. I don't know.
Oh, I'm tired.
I sit in the position Professor Poppers taught me. Legs crossed, back straight, wrist resting lightly on my knees, and fingers formed into loose circles with forefinger and thumb touching gently. I close my eyes and hear rhythmic purring, slow and steady. My fur prickles in the sea breeze, and my ears twist at the distant sounds of feet on wood and seagulls crying in another faraway place. The smell of the sea fills my nostrils. The taste of salt fills my mouth. I begin to focus on my breathing and the rhythm of my heartbeat, allowing my mind to drift. I take a deep breath in. The tide comes creeping towards me as though I'm pulling it. When it's just centimeters away from my bare toes, I slowly release my outward breath to a count of 5 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. With each beat, I push the tide back into the horizon until it's almost touching the rising sun. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5. And out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drifting now, without attachment to thought, I free my mind from worry and care.
Maybe we're just supposed to become a cat.
I don't like Snooty Booty.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll just keep challenging her. I do like her name, though.
Snooty Booty! Snoots! I'm searching for the Sphinx for what feels like ages. For a cat that never seems to move, she's surprisingly difficult to find. I'm answered eventually by an unintelligible murmur coming from the shade of a nearby tree. Of course, she's sleeping. Snooty Booty? Brad is bold.
Yeah.
I poke at her and gently try to rouse her. I have something for you. A gift as it happens.
Oh, human. It's you. Whatever are you doing up and about at this time?
It's midday, Boots. Snooty stares at me uncomprehendingly. I have an hour for lunch and I came to spend it with you, but if it's not a convenient time, I could always find something else to do.
Wait, you mentioned a gift?
Well, yes, I suppose. Had the idea when we were drinking. Well, when you were drinking from the coconut I fetched for you the other day. Whoops! I took some of it and made oil. Snooty Booty opens her mouth wide. I sit awkwardly staring at her, unsure of exactly what she's doing.
Well, I'm ready to break my fast, human.
It's sometimes hard to know whether to laugh or spit with this spoiled feline. No, Boots, this isn't for eating. You mentioned how good drinking coconut water is for you, so I thought you might like some coconut oil to rub into your skin. Keep you moisturized and youthful?
Aren't you terribly clever?
I can't help but blush. Snooty Booty rarely compliments anyone, so I feel honored.
You may begin.
Snooty Booty lolls onto her back, exposing her plump pink tummy to me. Oh, you want me to rub it in for you? Snooty Booty simply smiles in response. Well, a please wouldn't go amiss.
I mean, they talk, but they're still cats. I would pat this cat without making a big deal of it. Yes, well, I didn't want to make a fuss, but I prefer if you asked first.
Oh my god! You're like, yeah, I brought you some coconut oil, and now you're like, rub it in! It's like, you could ask me nicely, and she's like, yeah, you could ask me if you could touch me. Ah, I sigh.
That's fair.
There's not much point in arguing with Princess Snooty Booty. I don't think she actually means to be rude. Sometimes she just doesn't seem to understand how to talk to people as equals. I don't have the energy to deal with it today, but I make a note at some point. She and I are going to have a little chat about etiquette. Please, may I rub this coconut oil into your skin?
Yes, you may.
I pour some of the pungent liquid into the palm of my hand and rub it together with the other. No idea what I'm doing as I've never massaged anyone before, but I work along the lines of putting sun cream on a friend. As I touch the warm, loose skin on Snooty's primordial pouch, I'm struck by how delicate she really is, and I try to be as gentle as possible. Is that okay? Wow.
You're very skillful with your hands, human.
Okay.
I do so wish I had those thumb things. They seem so useful.
They're quite handy, to be honest, but paws are cool, too. Snooty Booty lazily inspects one of her paws.
Do my paws next, will you?
Snooty's skin is reacting well to the treatment and has become shiny and pliant. I see the good it's doing. I move on to massage her paws, but I'm quite taken aback by the length of her claws. Oh my, Boots. Your claws are really quite long. Don't you use a scratch post or anything?
What?
You know, something abrasive to file them on.
Whatever for?
Well, it's part of being a cat, really. Stops them from catching on things. Snooty Booty's peering at me with one judgmental eye open.
Caught on what exactly?
I don't know, Snoots. Don't worry about it. I'm sure it's fine.
Oh no, do go on. I'm intrigued. You seem to be implying that there's a degree of neglect in my grooming.
Wow. No, I most certainly am not. You are by far the most high maintenance, highly groomed cat I've ever seen. In fact, you're the perfect example of a sphinx.
I'm a what? Sphinx?
She's gesturing me to get to say perfect again. It's hard to keep my face straight. Absolutely perfect, Snoots.
And you're an expert?
Well, I wouldn't call myself that, but I have been reading up on sphinx cats, and you have all the characteristics of a pedigree.
It's very sweet of you to say so. Remind me, what would those be?
Oh my god, I hate this cat.
I wonder what be accurate is. Harsh truths!
I hesitate for a moment, trying to remember what pause for thoughtless is the top features to look for in a sphinx. There's rather a lot of info, and I want to give her the best bits.
You want to?
Ooh. I don't want to. I feel like flattery is the way to her heart, but I just want to be accurate.
Let's just do what we want.
What do you want to do, Joe?
We might just strike out with her again, and that's fine. Another cat down.
Well, let's see. Sphinx cats are known for their strong, muscular physiques. Snooty Booty stares silently. She's obviously engrossed, so I continue. Which is counterbalanced by their little pot bellies. She sifts a little, stretching out her torso.
And you're of the opinion that I fit this description?
Perfectly. I noticed how cute your pot was when I was massaging oil into it. The texture, too. I recite the sentence word for word. Although saggy in appearance, the texture of the Sphinx is surprisingly firm and rubbery to the touch, not unlike a hot water bottle. She blinks slowly. I imagine this is so interesting for her. Also, because they don't have fur to soak up excess oils, they have a tendency to be greasy and need to be periodically patted down with a cloth. Oh my god, I don't want a greasy cat.
Yeah, you have to wipe them down.
Ew. Honestly,
and they shed, like,
McMurphy's looking so much
skin
better.
And stuff.
You died a cat now. I don't care.
Yeah.
The manual also goes into great detail about the very unique personality of the Sphinx.
I'm sure you remember every word of that, too.
Absolutely. They're incredibly antisocial with other domesticated animals, yet extremely affectionate, even needy with human, demanding attention at all times.
Oh, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I know, the affectionate part was a bit wide of the mark, but otherwise it's spot on. I'm so happy. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. It said they grow patches of downy fur in the colder months. Is that true?
You may stop now.
Okay. Her mood seems to have worsened. You okay, Snoots?
Actually, I'm rather concerned for my overgrown claws.
Huh?
Well, there's little I can do about being a pot-bellied hot water bottle, but I can at least keep my claws neat.
Did we just roast a cat, says Sid previously headache? Yes. I've obviously hurt her feelings. Maybe the descriptions weren't that flattering now that I think about it. Maybe I could help with that.
Go on.
How about I give you a manicure?
Well, it can't hurt, I suppose. Tomorrow, then.
I'll be here on my lunch break. You know, Snoots, you're the most beautiful, aristocratic cat on this island.
Did we just win? Did you see those hearts?
I don't know.
Well, the competition is hardly what one would call worthy.
Oh, I don't know. The elders can be quite fetching in the right light. In spite of her efforts to hide it, I catch a glimmer of a smile before she curls up to sleep. Maybe she's a tsundere cat. Oh, because it's the opposite of... What's the opposite of yandere, and she's a tsundere.
Yeah, I guess so.
Alright, romance.
Alright.
Ray of K. Hi, Jeej. We're playing a very weird cat dating game.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this a lot better than McMurphy's storyline, which just seemed kind of like really long and boring.
Yeah, it was just kind of all over the place and a little redundant in some parts. But
yeah,
I mean, each cat is so very different, so
yeah,
that's neat.
Hey, Snoots, fancy seeing you here.
Really? But this is my spot, human. I'm often to be found here.
I let it go because I'm excited about what I've brought. Pick a hand. I hold out my fist in front of Snooty Booty.
Oh, a game. Hail Mary.
She stretches out her paw in the direction of my left hand. Ta-da! I open to reveal a piece of coarse stone that I cut up in the lab.
Oh, what a lovely rock you have there.
It's coarse stone. I thought it could work well as a nail file.
And what a clever thing you are.
That's not even the best bit. Look. I open the other fist to reveal my fantastic find.
Oh my, what is that thing?
It's nail polish. I found it in the lab. I have no idea who it could belong to, and honestly, I don't like to think too much about it, but I figured I could borrow it for one short hour without anybody missing it. And it looks like just your color.
Aww.
I squint at the bottom of the bottle. It's called Desire.
Oh, how did we turn into this so fast?
I don't know. I raise my eyebrows at the Sphinx.
Oh, nail polish, you say? Show me, human.
She suddenly seems more interested. I honestly thought I could try giving you a salon-style manicure benefiting a lady.
Most sweet of you. Now, shall we sort the snacks and drinks first?
Well, I came straight from work, so I didn't really...
Oh, never mind. It won't take you any more than a moment to fetch a coconut, and then we shall begin.
I can't believe I'm actually doing her bidding. You have to hand it to her. That air of entitlement certainly gets her what she wants.
I think he likes it.
I mean, some people like this kind of thing. This makes me, like, blind with rage, personally, to be so disrespected. I'm back quickly and out of breath. Within minutes, we settle into our session. Tell me if this feels at all uncomfortable, Snoots. I've never done this before, so guidance would be most helpful.
It's surprisingly satisfying. I can see why other cats might engage in this process of scratching at trees and rocks. I've always thought they were hunting for termites, like little scavengers.
Next foot. I finished her hind legs, I'm onto the final front paw. This stone works really well. Did I tell you how I cut it in the lab?
I don't believe you did. So how does this nail polish work? Is it like paint?
I ignore her rudeness. Exactly. Paint it on and wait for it to dry. I've never painted someone's nails before, so this will be a new experience for both of us. Open the bottle and make the first stroke. Try to keep as still as possible.
I think you'll find I'm as statuesque in my stillness, your hand is less so.
I know. Sorry, your nails are just so tiny. I'm trying to color within the lines.
What lines?
Never mind, it's a human thing, I guess.
I'm not sure I care for the smell of this nail polish.
Really? I quite like it. Reminds me of pear drops.
Of what?
Oh, sorry, another human thing. Well, look though, your paws look fantastic.
He's so stoked. Ooh!
Long, sleek talons are glinting shiny red in the sunlight.
Look at those little web feet. Oh my, I'm spectacular.
She extends her claws momentarily and presses them into my arm. Not enough to puncture the skin, but if I tried to move it would hurt. For the first time I appreciate what lethal weapons they could be. I must keep that in mind. So come on then. I take out my catalog.
Come on, what?
How'd she get a bracelet?
I don't know.
Pose for the camera.
Oh goodness, I hadn't realized this was going to be a photographic session also. How exciting.
Yes, well, I'm gonna have to remove that varnish before I go, so I thought it would be nice for you to have a photo.
Remove it.
The Sphinx cat looks appalled.
Whatever for?
Oh, Snoots, I'm sorry, didn't I say I can't leave it on you permanently? It would impede the natural retraction of your claws.
And then I shall leave them extended.
You can't do that. Her expression darkens.
I beg your pardon. I thought for a moment I heard you tell me what I can't do. Surely I was mistaken. I mean, why did we paint them if we have to take them off?
Because it was a nice thing to do together, I guess.
Maybe we should, like, put on stickers or something.
So do we compromise or just remove it? Be like, no, it's bad for you.
I don't know. Maybe compromise means we can find another solution. Because it doesn't... Yeah, I don't know. I think just removing the varnish seems kind of weird.
Maybe the cat kills us if we remove.
Jeez.
You can't leave your claws extended the whole time, cat.
I don't think...
Chat seems to be like, remove it, this cat sucks. Chat seems to be into like compromise, or at least I've seen like 2 compromise people.
Compromise doesn't necessarily mean that she'll just leave her claws extended the whole time. Like, why would we have put it on if it was a danger?
No, Snoots, you heard me perfectly well. I must insist that you allow me to remove it.
Insist?
Her forehead wrinkles with her raised eyebrow. I need to tread carefully here. Ask your permission. Please, may I remove the varnish now?
But it simply does not make sense. Why do it in the first place?
I know how much you enjoy things like this. Pampering, I thought it would be a fun thing for us to share. You had fun, didn't you?
Well, yes. But I certainly wouldn't have had I known you were simply doing it to taunt me.
I wasn't doing it to taunt you, Boots. She seems genuinely upset. I'm sorry. There's an awkward little standoff. Her eyeing the rubbing alcohol, me eyeing her claws. I whack my brains to think of a way to compromise with her. Perhaps if I tried appealing to her sense of style? I wonder if you'd like to try something. I don't know why I didn't do it in the first place, actually. I'm so forgetful sometimes.
You're wittering.
Well, just before I came to the island, there was a craze sweeping the fashion world. I could tell I've caught her attention. I read about it in a Bon Vivant magazine.
Go on.
It's a French thing, apparently. Snooty Booty cocked her head to the side. It's called, the Pinky Flick.
Yes?
Flèche rosée. She's going for it. I feel encouraged. I'm thinking on my feet. All the celebrities are doing it.
Doing what?
Having their pinky nail painted while their other nails are left natural.
Just one nail?
She looks intrigued. Yeah, it really does look so striking and à la mode.
Show me.
Bullseye. I take Snooty's paw in mine, but she snatches it away.
No, show me.
I pause, uncertain of what she means. Then the penny drops. She wants me to paint my own pinky nail with desire. Oh, gladly. I suppose I should have expected Snooty Booty to attempt to groom me at some point. Here goes. I swipe some of the bright red polish on my left pinky. What do you think? Looks à la mode, right? Hold my pinky to the corner of my mouth coyly.
Well, I suppose it does look rather fetching. I'll make a deal with you, human. I'll wear my nails a la mode if you promise to keep yours painted for the rest of your stay here.
It's a deal. Oh, I doubt that such a tiny amount of varnish will cause her too much harm. It will come off naturally quite soon anyway. Mine, on the other hand, is going to be more permanent. I can't wait to explain this to Professor Popper.
This is fine.
Alright. I guess we could do some research.
Mm-hmm.
I could just keep running hard on recon.
We haven't unlocked another one yet.
No, I guess we gotta do some research.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't done any research yet.
No.
Just one, okay.
Oh, the professor has assigned me to work on a special subject. I wonder what he means by that.
Neat. Brad, I have a very important job for you today. It's quite a tricky one, but you've proven yourself to be very capable, and I'm certain you can handle it. Follow me! I have a little lady I'd like you to meet.
The professor leads me to a research lab in the forest, but instead of going in, he takes me to an area around the back.
This is our brave little nugget, Ravenpaw. She has to be isolated over here, don't you, Missy?
The professor reaches into the cage, which is stood on a table, and picks up the tiny black cat that's sleeping inside.
Oh, such a good girl, aren't you? We keep her here, away from the others, because the poor thing is very unwell. Can you see this nasty rash?
Professor Popper holds out one of the cat's paws for you to inspect. It's red and swollen. Ravenpaw looks at me with her big watery eyes, one brown, one blue. They're probably watering because of the medication she's on, but it makes her look as if she's pleading with me.
She doesn't seem to be able to eat without assistance either, poor thing. We've been treating her as best we can, but I'm not sure if she'll make it. Perhaps not even till to the end of the week.
The professor lets out a sad sigh.
I have my fingers crossed, though. We don't give up on any of these cats, do we, Ravenpaw? No, we don't. We're gonna try and get you all better.
She's such a pretty cat. Her eyes are.
Enchanting, aren't they? She's a very pretty cat indeed, and she knows it too. You can tell. You know what a pretty little thing you are, don't you?
I reach out to stroke Ravenpaw, but she struggles away from my hand.
Ah, she's getting cranky. I think we've kept Grumpy Pants here awake for long enough.
Puts her gently back in the cage and locks it shut. Ravenpaw seems to fall asleep instantly. Oh, I hope I didn't distress her.
Of course not, Brad. She's usually very wary of humans before she gets to know them. When I first found the poor thing on the beach, she almost scratched my eyes out, in spite of the terribly fragile state she was in.
The professor smiles at the memory.
Such a little trooper. She was half dead at first. She's gotten a lot better since then. I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see her pull through this.
I do hope so, Professor.
Quite. Now the reason I've brought you here is because, regrettably, I won't be able to see Ravenpaw personally any longer. It's a pity that she is so used to me now, but there's nothing for it. I've been given an extra workload recently. I need to share a few of my odd jobs to accommodate it. I wonder if this has to do with the letter that she got. I thought you'd be the ideal person to look after Ravenpaw for me.
I'm taken aback that the professor entrusted me with such responsibility. It's quite flattering until I remember that he doesn't have much choice, me being the only assistant on the island.
Every day, she requires a change of dressing, a dose of medication, some cream rubbed into her rashes, and a syringe full of some nutrient milk. This can be quite distressing for her, so I'd like someone with a nice and patient manner to take over for me.
Of course, sir. I'd love to help out in any way I can. That's what I'm here for. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, splendid. I'm so glad. I think you and Ravenpaw will get along famously before too long. She has such a sweet nature.
I look forward to it, sir.
Could you start now?
Oh, of course.
Tip-top. I shall be in the lab if you need me for anything. Please don't be afraid to give me a shout. I am terribly sorry to burden you with this so suddenly, but I have a lot of work to do right now.
Okay, Professor.
He likes cats.
I feel a little apprehensive as I watch Professor Popper retreat into the lab. I didn't realize I'd expected to do everything right now without training or anything. I remind myself that this isn't like an ordinary lab back home. I must try to adapt to the higgledy-piggledy way things are done here. I take a deep breath. Change her dressing. I can do that. Hello, pretty kitty. I'm very sorry, but I have to disturb you. The small cat lets out a sad mew as I lift her out of the cage. Oh, I know. Life is unfair. Now where are your dressings? I put Ravenpaw next to the cage on the table. She lays down compliantly. She obviously knows the routine. She has a large bandage on the side of her ribs. I begin to gently remove it, trying hard not to pull on her skin too much. Well, I suppose if we're gonna do this every day, we might as well get to know each other, right? So, hello. My name is Brad, and I'm quite new here. I know your name already, Ravenpaw. Nice name. I bet the professor named you. He certainly knows how to pick them, doesn't he? The cat tenses as I remove the last of the plaster and reveal a scar on a patch of bare skin where the professor has shaved her for surgery. Oh dear, that scar looks very tender. I should clean it. Is that right, Ravenpaw? Let me look. Some drawers under the table, and I quickly find some antiseptic gel and cotton pads. Now, Ravenpaw, I'm gonna level with you. This is going to sting a bit, but please don't take it out on me. I'm doing this for your own good, okay? Trust me, you do not want this scar to become infected. That would be disastrous. The cat stays perfectly still while I wipe at her scar. She doesn't even make a sound. I have to say I'm impressed and a little disquieted. Wow, you're a brave girl, aren't you? Well done. When I was a child, I cut my arm on some thorns and had to have antiseptic put on. As I remember, I screamed the house down. I carefully put on a clean bandage, trying hard not to stick it to her fur. I suppose the medication comes next, doesn't it? What do we have here? I look through the drawers and find a box of pre-filled syringes labeled catatonic. I presumed you'd be taking tablets, but of course the professor said you had trouble with solids, didn't you? Poor thing. Okay, same thing as last time. Don't shoot the injector. Hold the skin on the back of Ravenpaw's neck tight to go to inject it quickly to get it over, but the syringe is stiff and it takes a lot longer than expected. Again, the little cat makes no response. Doesn't move a muscle. Almost as if she can't feel it.
Mom.
Good girl. Gosh, you are so tough. You know, I bet McMurphy and you would get on like a house on fire. Ravenpaw's ears prick up as if she's heard a rattlesnake. McMurphy is one of the coolest people. I mean, I was a little wary at first, but he has an Irish charm that's so hard to resist. The tiny cat's head spins up to look at me.
How do you know he's Irish?
My heart lurches into my throat.
Have you got it? You have, haven't you? You're sick. You've got the sickness.
I have a million questions running through my head, but I'm unable to speak.
Listen to me, human. You must help me.
I suddenly jolt to my senses. I'm trying to help you, Ravenpaw.
Please, don't use the cream on me. It burns. It's giving me those red patches.
I know it hurts, but I have to rub it into your wound. Those red patches will get dry and itchy and even infected otherwise.
No, please, I beg you, human. That stuff doesn't help. It doesn't. It hurts.
I know it feels that way, but it's helping you, I promise. No, I know this!
That man has only ever hurt me. No!
Please give me the choice to not do the cream.
Ugh.
I'm taken aback. The professor cares for you very much and only wants you to get better.
Wait. Because we took that other letter. What if the professor hasn't read it? So he's continuing treatment.
I'm stopping it. Okay, I'm taking a big leap here. I'm going to give you 5 days without this cream to see if there's any deterioration in your condition. And then it's back to a strict regimen for you, Missy, and no complaints. Deal?
Thank you, human. Secret desires.
Oh.
Neat.
I unlocked a research.
Secret cat.
It's noon. You know what that means? This is the end of our stream.
Yeah.
So, a quick announcement about Now Kiss. Because of Road Quest, Now Kiss is moving to 1 p.m. on Fridays instead of 9:30. So we're going to be moving that to accommodate that we are basically I can't come in early because Graham's not around, and but we don't want everybody to miss out on the kissing. But that means that we're not doing any crap shoots while we're away because we're just going to be way too short-staffed. So instead you get more kissy games.
Woo.
So I guess now it's time to run the poll to see if we should come back next week.
Yeah.
Exclamation point. Kiss. Is it Now Kiss? Is it poll? I think it's Now Kiss. Why do I never remember how to do this? There we are. Are we gonna keep playing Purrfect Date next week?
Poor new secret cat.
Marathon Now Kiss to finish the game? I don't know about that. I don't want to necessarily sign... I have work to do, and I don't want to sign Joe to be up here for like 5 hours. This is a long game.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, it looks like pretty much everybody is invested, though. A couple people are like, no.
Well, it's less of a split than last time. So.
Yeah, the mystery is good. We've come too far to turn around. We're so enthralled. I know we're invested, but this game has some serious problems. The subtext is really really problematic. Yeah, like, I'm not saying it's a perfect game, but I'm saying I'm invested and I want to see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, we did just encounter a cat to save.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to date them, that's the thing, right? I don't want to date these cats. I really feel like the dating thing is a very, like... I think the reason why that you date the cats is because they're like, yeah, we want people to buy the game, and people love cat dating sims.
Right.
Right? But I'd be happy if this was just a mystery to solve.
I don't think there's a consequence on the overall narrative, whether or not you date a cat, because you have to basically choose a new researcher to talk to other cats.
Yeah. Yeah, this is less a dating sim, more just a mystery visual novel. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I don't want to date any of these cats, but I do want to I want to find out what happens.
Yeah?
I wonder if the cats are intentionally problematic. I think they're just like...
So they're not boring?
I think they're just goofy stereotypes so you can clock them pretty quickly.
Yeah. They're all very distinct.
I do want to succeed in one romance route just to see if you still die.
Maybe we do just die. Or maybe we, like, stay behind and turn into a cat.
Alright, well... I didn't want to date... Snooty Booty sucks, so I'm fine our dating is going poorly there.
Yeah, maybe one of the other cats.
Yeah, we'll see. Alright, well, it looks like we're coming back next week. But remember, at a new time, at 1 p.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time, instead of the crapshoot. We're running back for more. Now kiss. Alright, bye everybody!